Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the stream.
How are you doing, Rudy?
I'm good, and you?
My good, thanks.
I'm quite excited to see what's going to happen today. The new maps are up, and we're gonna have a blast.
Yeah, so today I believe we're capturing flags.
Yeah,
I think that's the objective today.
that's the plan.
Capture the flags. So we're going to see what the different students from Unisa can do, how their gameplay might change in a capture of that flag versus speed runs, how things might be playing differently. And yeah, we're keen to see how that's going to go.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited to see. Our first match is going to be against the Supersonics Crafters against the Diomi Amazons. I'm actually quite excited to see what these two teams are going to be doing.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing. We hope the homies' connection works today so they get a proper chance to play. It's going to be something.
Well, I think, if I'm correct, they've got 5 flags to capture.
Yeah, first to 5, and they have about 8 minutes to get as many points as they can. Obviously, the team with the most points will win the round.
Okay, cool, yeah. So, just a warm welcome to everybody from the students to Unisa, and thanks for being here with us. It's actually it's a pleasure and an honor to be hosting this event for Unisa. It's going to be awesome and exciting, and we're going to definitely make history.
Yeah, I'm excited to see. I love seeing how the streaming and the gaming into the education system is evolving very quickly. I've heard that some of the students haven't played Minecraft or even most games until recently, and here they are already competing in esports tournaments, streaming their matches. It's awesome to see, actually.
Yeah, if I'm correct, that some of these students have been recently started playing Minecraft and stuff, and I'm actually really excited and happy to see that how these kids have been progressing. Oh well, students, sorry.
Yeah, the university students playing Minecraft. It's also awesome. So, yeah, our match will be starting around 2 minutes, but we're just gonna chat, chill, talk today. So, I mean, we're streaming from the Centurion. I believe we're in Centurion somewhere.
Yeah, at the studio, definitely.
Yeah, quite a not rainy day outside, but cloudy day. But
luckily the temperatures are a bit down, which is
it's not as
good.
warm today. And we have the teams playing from different locations all around,
That's
which
correct.
is very interesting. It's great to see.
So, Aiden, tell me, what do you think is going to happen today?
Oh, I don't know. We had the mission unblock building very well with speedruns yesterday, so now we can see how their PvP is. We're going to see if they're an all-rounder team or if they're stronger on speedruns, and another team might be stronger on the PvP and the capture the flag. We want to see strategies that the teams use. So see if they're doing straight brute force, trying to see if they can capture the flag and get it, or if they're going to use strategies and outwit the enemies.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that some of these teams will encounter a lot of PvP. I hope they're ready for it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the maps they're playing as well. I remember in Comic-Con they were playing, it was also capture the flag in a map with a large tree in the middle, and the flags were in different points, and the trees and the branches, there was hazards, there were even mobs in the game, so it's exciting to see what's coming.
Yeah, we'll be starting the first match against the Supersonic Crafters versus the Diomi Amazons in about 1 minute.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely keen to see what these two teams are going to do.
Yeah, so we're hoping they're prepping and getting their strats together. We've heard the Supersonic Crafters is going to be taking it easy this game, so we'll see how that goes. So I don't know if that's their strat, if they're just taking it relaxed as it's a Saturday, obviously. Or, we'll see how competitive the teams can get.
Well, let's see what happens. As I'm getting a bit of feedback that the Diomi Amazons only has 1 player.
That's their disadvantage, but as Brent and I were speaking about yesterday, we can see if they can clutch for their teams. So that's going to be a tough one for them, but that's obviously why the other team is going to be going easy, because it's giving them some sort of fair ground to play on.
Yeah.
There's obviously quite disadvantaged there then.
Well, just a bit of feedback around the map. So it's going to be a capture the flag. First team to 5 will take the win. There is a bit of parkour in between. some of the flags might be a bit difficult to reach, but it's definitely possible.
Okay, so then I like that there's areas that the speedrunners will have their advantages where
Definitely.
they can see how they can do with the flags while the others fight. So that's
Yeah.
where some strategies can come in play, where they have certain players have certain objectives. They can see who's going to do what. They're probably, hopefully, setting up now, discussing who's going to do what their strategies and their plans are going to be for the game.
Yeah, so I think there's definitely a couple of players that's going to do good in the. I think they're going to do good in the. Sorry, I'm just getting a bit of feedback that we are going to quickly go into a small intermission. Not sure if we're experiencing technical difficulties. But
definitely still
yeah,
gonna be
these
playing the games.
teams are going to go head and head, and
Keen to see
we
who
will
comes
be
out on
back
top.
shortly in about 2 minutes.
See you then.
Yeah. And we're back. Welcome back, Aiden.
Thank you. Long time no see.
Yeah, so
Just fixing
Pretty
some technical difficulties there before we get into games, so that hopefully nothing breaks while
I'm
playing.
sure that all the players are in and ready.
Yeah. So everyone's still prepping up, getting ready for capture the flag. We've still got the same teams playing first. We've got the crafters versus the Amazons. And yeah, we're going to see who's going to capture the most flags and who's going to capture them fastest.
So the match is going to start now. So let's see.
Oh,
They're on.
already into the match.
Let's look at what's happening.
Cool. So do you know which team is which? Who's red? Who's blue?
So blue looks like they're the Diomi Amazon, and red is the Crafters.
So the Supersonic Crafters are blue, or no, red, and the Dahomey Amazon's blue. They're all obviously still wandering around. I believe someone's trying to.
Let's see if they can capture the flags. There is a bunch of flags scattered around the map. Some of them are in a parkour challenge, and the rest is ground level, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so they're playing a very circular map, obviously, a very even mirrored map. We've got one of the players here trying to figure something out to get to the flag.
Yeah, I see one of the Diomi Amazons is currently on a flag, but I don't see if he's going to grab it.
And we've got the Supersonic Crafters going for the parkour flags. So they're all still obviously fairly new to the map, trying to figure out what's going on, where the flags are, how to get to them. Obviously there's certain paths or directions each player needs to take to get to a flag. All of them are trying their own things. They're not much battling it out, which is great. They have 8 minutes to capture as many flags as possible, or first to 5. So whoever's got the most points, or obviously first to 5 at the end, will win the round.
It looks like that one of the players does have a flag, and one of the Diomi Amazons is on the score mark. Let's see if they can get that flag in and score a point.
They're still reading the rules. There we go. Is that a flag captured?
Supersonic Crafters is also
figuring
looks
out
like he's going to place that flag. Let's see what happens.
He's busy figuring out how to capture the flag there, how to get a score.
You got it. And he's placed. Let's wait for some feedback on who has the most score.
Do you know if we have any feedback on the scores yet at the
I
moment?
think red might be on 2 flags.
Yeah.
So the Supersonic Crafters has 2 flags, and the Diomi Amazons,
they only have
one
one flag at the moment, so we've got the Crafters in the lead.
it looks like that Diomi Amazons are 1 player short.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they can still do this.
Yeah, the number disadvantage doesn't mean you necessarily are going to lose. Obviously, if you can get the flags faster, outstrat the team, you can easily win this. So let's see. It will be a very interesting win, obviously, if the team with the lesser wins. Will make things a lot more interesting and see how they play into the finals.
I think that most of the players are still trying to figure out how the map layout works. If I'm correct, there is 2 different levels.
Yeah, it looks like it, especially with the parkour level up above. And do you know how many flags there are in total that they have available to capture? Do the flags respawn? Do you know how any of that works?
If I'm correct, there's about 11 flags scattered around the map, and 3 of them has already been collected.
Yeah, so trying to see, it looks like they're going for whatever's closest, not necessarily whatever's easiest. So some of them seem to be looking around to see how many flags are and where they are, getting their positionings, getting their locations right, and other ones are just going for the first flag they see.
I see that one of the players is trying to rotate down to the bottom floor.
Okay, so they have figured out there is more of them. Okay. They're all just kind of slowly watching each other. They're not spreading out and splitting up. They're grouping together, which is good. So
Looks like there's about 4 minutes left in this current game. Let's see if they can grab that last 3 flags for the Supersonic Crafters.
Yeah, 3 more flags and they win. Or obviously if they can just play out the time. So we've got the Crafters on the bottom floor all looking for more flags. Trying to figure out, I see someone might be going back up.
I see the Diomi Amazons has also collected a flag. There is one he's looking at. Supersonic Crafters on 3 flags,
now, 2 more
to go. Do you think they'll make it?
Yes, so obviously Dahomey's a bit disadvantaged at the moment. They've only got 1 player to look through the whole map to find things. They're not fighting. The Crafters are obviously taking it a bit easier on the Dahomey Amazon, so they're not fighting by the looks of it, luckily.
I see.
Because obviously with Dahomey Amazons having only one player, whereas the Crafters have about 3 or 4 from what I see, they're obviously not going to just pick on him, bully, and
I
take
see
the enemy out
Dahomey
like that. So they're not
Amazons.
doing PvP for this round, so this is a much more chilled round to give them some sort of advantage to play with.
Definitely. I see that the Dahomey Amazons has a couple of flags. Let's see if you can place it.
So from what we see, they can hold multiple flags at once,
Yeah.
not just one flag. That's okay.
Supersonic Crafters is placing flags. Let's see if they can get that fifth flag in and take the map.
And Dahomey's caught up to 3-3. They've set it to, even as one player finding the flags alone, they've tied the game. They have about 3 minutes left. And we see there the Crafters are, I don't know if they're doing it intentionally as a sorry that you're alone kind of thing, but the Supersonic Crafters are placing on their opponents' capture points, so they're capturing points for their opponents. So that's definitely something we didn't expect to see. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if they're busy helping them or if they're not realizing that what they're doing.
I see the
Kind of scoring
Dahomey
an own goal
Amazons
there.
has placed another flag. Let's see who might get that fifth flag in.
Yeah, they might even
I
be.
think there's one more to go.
I'm wondering.
It sounds like we're getting feedback that the blue
The
team,
blue team's won.
Dahomey Amazons,
I'm wondering if
has won
Supersonic
with
has given them the
5
game.
flags.
Yeah,
That's intense.
that's awesome. So they scored about 1 or 2 on their own, and the Supersonic Crafters finished the game for them. So Dahomey Amazons has won the capture the flag. It's a round we weren't expecting. It wasn't as much fighting and stuff as
not
we'd
at
hoped,
all.
but it was a more wholesome round to start off the stream with. So
Well,
that's sweet.
I think it's quite interesting to see that these students aren't taking it competitive, but more helping one another,
Yeah.
which is definitely a good thing.
No, it's like I said, it's wholesome family content to start us off with, helping each other. Obviously, with a one-man team, you can't do much on your own. Even without the PvP, you've got to find the
Definitely.
flags on your own. And if you struggle with the parkour, everything, you're gonna struggle with the whole game without someone to help you through it. So the enemy help them, which
I
is
think,
really cool to see.
I think the Supersonic Crafters do deserve a massive applause for that, for helping
Yeah,
the
no, they-
opposing team, and it is actually quite interesting to see this. I think it's the first time I saw something like this happen.
Yeah, we were expecting brawling and fighting straight out, but obviously with only one player, it would have 2 of them could have stacked up on the one while one found flags. So it was a very, very big disadvantage, but they were good sports about it, and it was really awesome to see.
Definitely.
I'm very proud of them for that.
I'm definitely quite intrigued to see what's going to happen in the next match. Maybe we'll get to see a bit of PvP. Let's wait and see.
I'm wondering if the Supersonics did that intentionally, or if it was an accidental thing scoring for their opponent.
Yeah,
That's
the
interesting.
next match will be the Turmoils versus the
RBM
RBM
Pillagers.
Pillagers.
Yeah. So, do you know how many players are on each team with these 2 teams?
Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm pretty sure that the Turmoil might get a bit physical. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully these teams are a bit more even, so they'll want to fight each other. They're not going to be disadvantaged. So we'll see how it is. We'll see the skill sets of each team and see where their team's strengths lie.
Yeah, I think that a bunch of them might actually be able to complete the parkour challenges, get those flags in the difficult places, and let's see who gets first to 5.
Yeah.
There is a time limit on the map, which is 8 minutes, if I'm correct, Aiden?
Yes, 8 minutes. So I'm also wondering if they take out their opponents who are holding the flags, do they drop the flags for the other players to take?
I'm not sure.
Because then
That
so
might be an interesting thing to see.
it could be an interesting strat that a team could have is just following the other team as they do the challenges, so that the one team doesn't have to, and they can just take out the team as they get the challenges.
Yeah, stealing the flags by them.
Yeah.
I definitely think that might be interesting and a good strategy to use.
That's definitely something I would do if I'm struggling with parkour, is follow someone who looks like they know what they're doing and get them to get the flag for me.
Oh yeah, definitely. There is two levels in this map and a bunch of flags scattered into difficult places, and some of them actually in plain sight. So let's see if the Turmoils and the RBMs will be able to get 5 flags and who has the quickest.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see all the different teams play. For me personally, I'm most excited to see the Unblockables, the Mission Unblockables, see how they play. So they were obviously the fastest yesterday with the speed runs.
Oh yeah.
So I'd love to see how fast and competitive they are with capturing flags and how they are with the PvP.
Well, to be honest, for students that haven't been playing a lot of games, and I'm pretty sure that there is a couple of them that have been playing a while now, it's interesting to see how quick they learn and progress in Minecraft, and not just Minecraft, but in other games as well. Do you
Yeah,
think there is going to be some fun PvP and maybe record times in capturing 5 flags?
yeah, I hope so. I'd love to see how fast, even as it not being a speed run match, it's just about who can get the most flags or who can get five first. It's something I like to see is how fast players can make a game. Even being
Yeah.
not a speed run specific match, we'd love to see who can get it the fastest regardless.
Yeah.
You know, make things a little interesting, see if that's something players can do or if they're just going to take their time because they've got only 8 minutes. But as long as, like we said, they have even one more than the other team, then they're fine. They don't have to specifically get all the flags. A team could capture one and just fight for the rest of the game. Make
Yeah.
sure that. So yeah, they could defend the capture points of the enemy team. See what happens.
Well, the teams are busy getting ready. I think we're waiting for one more player. Let's maybe take a look at the bracket and see what we've got in store for today.
So yeah.
Are you excited to see
I'm
these teams
excited.
going head and head?
So
So-
currently it's Turmoil versus the Arvian Pillagers, and yeah, we're going to see who's going to move to the quarterfinals, then semifinals, and finals. Something I love about what we do with the brackets here is that even players who may lose early on will still get another opportunity to play and improve themselves later on because we do double elimination brackets here, something a little bit different that I don't often see. It's not a once-off play, you're out, you're not going to play anymore. It gives everyone an equal opportunity to have a warm-up round and then another round after that.
Yeah, so if you lose the first match, it doesn't mean that you're out. You can still make a pretty good comeback.
I even think that the first team to lose can still win the tournament in the end, which is awesome stuff like that. We've had it before where the brackets at the bottom, who were the losing teams originally, ended up winning the tournaments in the end as they made comebacks. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
amazing to
actually-
see.
Actually, really amazing is, yeah, if I don't know if it's just me, but if you lose a game, it doesn't mean that it's game over. It just means try again, try harder, and like we said, there has been games in the past where the losing bracket came back with a whopping score and taking the entire tournament to the next level and
Yeah.
winning it.
It's cool because you might get down for that first loss and then to the opposite of that with winning the whole tournament. It must be a roller coaster to have something like that happen.
Oh, definitely. I
And-
think we are waiting for one more player, if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think one more player is just trying to connect. He's just busy signing in, getting his connection set up, and then we should be starting the game fairly soon.
So
Like we said, hopefully more PvP, hopefully more even teams this game. Maybe still some own goals if we never know.
well, let's see if there's going to be some PvP action or are the teams going to help each other to reach 5. The first team to 5 will obviously take the victory. And yeah, I'm actually quite interested to see what
Yeah.
these two teams are going to be doing.
Yeah, and something I love as well is with it being a very symmetrical map, there's nothing too off about it, or you can kind of just walk around. You got like you said, the higher up parkour locations where they climb the
Yeah.
ladders, jump around, try not fall, lose their stuff. And then you've got where you break through to the lower ground, and then there's even more there. And it's very open, it's very big, it's not too enclosed or tight. You can, like you said, that most of the flags are somewhere where the players can see them as soon as they start looking around. So it's just a bit of a
Yeah.
look, and you can stand back because of the openness and try see how you want to get the flag. It's not there's a flag, how do I get to it? You can get almost every angle on it, see what you want to do.
Definitely, there is a couple of challenges, especially with the parkour, that you'll have to be running on a wall. For instance, hugging the wall. I wonder if we'll see some of the players doing that parkour.
Yeah, I'm also interested to see as if players are going to try to stop each other during the parkour, if they're just going to fight ground level. Because imagine a wall battle on the wall.
Yeah, that's going to be quite interesting to
It's like
see.
two little spiders fighting on the wall. Yeah,
And
I'd love to see
Who do you
that.
think is going to take this game? Turmoils or the RBM?
I don't know. Usually I would say the team who has the most players obviously has the advantage, but after the last game it makes it very difficult to decide based on that kind of factor. So
Yeah,
it's not an easy one.
definitely. And it's always a good thing to see these students playing games and just having a bit of fun as well. It's not just competitive, it's
Fun, yeah.
blowing off some steam.
It's not
especially
your
with the
last
exams
tournament.
happening now. It's actually quite interesting to see these students pitching up for amazing tournaments like this.
Yeah, and even if they don't do well today, it's obviously not going to be the last tournaments. We're going to hope for many, many more that they can play in and
Yeah.
have different winners every time. Sadly, this tournament is running a bit behind schedule though, but we're making sure we've got our team trying to get everything fixed, everything sorted, so we can have a smooth streaming experience for everyone.
Yeah, I think there is just one player struggling to connect, if I'm correct.
Yeah,
But we will, however, make up for lost time.
yeah, and we don't want one player missing out on their game or anything, so we are going to wait for them. But we should be ready in about a minute
Yeah.
to start playing.
Let's see what these two teams are going to do.
Yeah, so we're obviously trying to give this player an opportunity to play because we don't want anyone missing out, but we can't wait too long. So if they do struggle, we sadly will have to move on without them. They've got about 3 minutes to connect. If we can't, we
Yeah.
do need to move on because we can't hold up the whole thing, sadly. We don't have the whole day to do the matches,
Well,
but they
I
will
hope that
help.
this
So
player might get in. Let's see
No.
what happens.
yeah, I believe we will be going into the match without the player though. It
Ah.
sounds like it's been about 3 minutes. They're not getting in. They're having a bit of issues, so they're just going to be one player short for this match. Hopefully their missing teammate will still be able to support them
I'm
through the
sure
game.
that this team will still be able to make a comeback, even if they are one player short.
Yeah,
Do you have
so
any idea which team is struggling?
no, I believe it's the Pillagers struggling to get their teammate in. Do you know how many total players they have? Each
It's
team,
4
think-
players?
2. Yeah, 4 players total, 2 on each team.
Okay.
So it's an even game this round. Smaller teams, no 4v4s, 3v3s. It's just 1-1 fighting each other. You can have one fighting, one getting the flag, or you can have both splitting up, getting flags and fighting the other players. They can 2-on-1. They can try to pick them off one at a time. So they've got a multiple strategy they can do, even as such small
Let's
teams.
see what happens. Let's take
Awesome.
a look at the game.
So the game's starting in 10 seconds.
So there's
And yeah, I'm interested to see. 2v2s are almost more comfortable where there's a bit less to look at, which I like, but it's not soloed, so there's still team play without it being too much and too overwhelming to watch, which is something I enjoy.
definitely. And this match is off. Let's see
So we got
what
Turmoil
these
on
two teams
red.
are going to do.
Yeah,
I
So-
see Turmoils try to run for that flag, but missed it.
yeah, straight into it. So we got the Turmoils on red and we got the Pillagers on blue team. All in the middle. We've already got someone in Turmoil going to the next floor, down below.
It looks like that one of the RBM villagers has grabbed that flag. There is one just below the staircase. Let's see who.
Let's
It
see.
looks like Turmoil grabbed that flag before villagers could get to it.
And we've got
another
possible
flag.
fights coming in. Both teams are very passive at the moment next to each other, but yeah, they seem to just be doing their own thing.
It looks like the Turmoils have 2 flags in their pocket. Let's see if they can place those flags and get the score up.
Yeah, it looks like both teams are trying to just get as many as they can and then capture them all at once. They're not doing a one at a time thing. They're kind of just going for it. They don't seem to be
running
fighting.
to place those flags. 1, 2, 3,
Okay,
4 flags for Turmoil, if I'm correct.
and Turmoil seems to have a point.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
4 flags for Turmoil and RBM Villagers has
one
1.
flag. As I was saying, we're seeing someone who just they're not going to fight. They're not going to defend. They're just going straight for the flags. See who can get 5 the fastest. So blue is at 2 and red is only 1 already away from winning.
Let's
So
see.
it's
RBM
quite a close
has placed
competition.
3 flags, correct?
Yeah, so we had quite a passive match here. No one's fighting. Everyone's just seeing who can get it the fastest. We've already got Villagers at 3, as you've said, and Turmoil at 4. Turmoil has only got one flag left to win. They're
He's got
doing
that
brilliantly
flag.
time-wise.
Let's see if
They're
he
not
can
making
place
this a
it.
time game. So for PvP, we're still doing a speed run by the looks of it. Both teams seem to have some peace treaty there, and they're just going straight for.
Yeah, I think
For
they're
each.
just running
Yeah,
straight
and
for
now-
those flags. I don't think they're caring about. Well, there was a bit of PvP now.
Yeah, it
Let's see.
is getting intense as
These
they
two
each
teams.
next flag wins.
Yeah.
Wow, that it caught up very. We went from 4-1 to 4-4. So
I
yeah,
think
we've got
it's-
some little punches. Red's on the way to score though, so hopefully someone stops them or fights them. I wonder if they're playing around or if they're playing with their opponents, but they.
Turmoil is running to the end to place that last flag. Will he get it? It's
And it
we
seems
got
like
it.
Turmoil wins.
Turmoil took the victory with 5 flags.
And we've got the players celebrating, jumping, ducking.
I'm sure these students are happy.
Yeah, we can see the little celebration there of the teammates there. Oh, that was a lot more intense than that. We went from a slow, wholesome game with finding flags, helping each other, and here we've got the Turmoil celebrating, jumping up and down,
Yeah, I
enjoying.
think-
It was intense. One flag left each to win, and Turmoil wins.
I think these two teams didn't really care much about PvP. They just went for the
Yeah, they
flags.
left each other be. It was a peaceful but intense game, weirdly enough, with how far we went straight back into speed running. So there was
Yeah.
meant to be PvP, and they were like, no, we're not done. Not after yesterday. We want to prove ourselves some more.
If I'm correct, I think some of these teams might have practiced last night on the parkour and just playing speed.
Yeah, no, they weren't ready, or they weren't keen for PvP on the Saturday. Today it was just, I can get the flags faster than you watch.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, I'm quite excited to see what's in store for the rest. I'm
Yeah.
hoping to see a bit of PvP. Don't you think?
Yeah, I'm hoping there's more games like that. Hopefully, a bit more PvP. But they went straight to 4 points and with Turmoil, and then 1 for the Pillagers, and then Pillagers went straight up to 4 again. So it was a very close call at the end, but Turmoil still took the lead and won in the end.
Yeah. Well,
So
now my question is, who's your favorite team, Aiden?
I'm not going to pick favorites. There's obviously a team I'm rooting for, but there's one who I'm very interested in seeing. So I'm not going to pick favorites here, but obviously, as I've said, that there is a game I'm very interested to see, and I'll tell you when that game comes.
I think I'm rooting for Go Team Minecraft.
Yeah. So all the players evenly. I'm loving how everyone's playing very differently. We've got them speedrunning. We've got the other teams helping each other. So everyone's got their enjoyable sides, which is awesome. We've-
Quite interesting to see the next match, which is going to be the Predators versus the
Yeah,
Mission
the belt was
correct?
first Mission Unblockable. Yes. So this is the game I'm most excited to see
You're
because it
rooting
was.
for Mission Unblockable, I see.
It's not a rooting. It's a wanting to see how they play compared to their speed runs yesterday.
Yeah, they definitely set some quick times yesterday.
Yeah, they had the fastest time with just what was about a minute 21 seconds
Yeah, I think that's correct.
on their final round. Yeah, they got better.
I think let's maybe take a look at what this map has to offer.
As you can see, these
It does
massive,
look quite
very
beautiful.
artistic looks.
Well, a
Struggling to find words for
massive shout out to our world builders, Jog and Brenton, for designing incredible maps for the Unisa tournament. And this is
This
really
is amazing.
beautiful.
Something I love about the maps that they build is they don't just focus on the player areas. They focus on background and things you will see on the sides, everything like this.
Fine
There's
detail.
laws and there's almost story to the maps, even if it's not a story game. It's beautiful to see what people can do in Minecraft.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think that these teams
You can see all the
are
arenas
quite
side by
excited
side.
to see what's going to happen on these maps.
Yeah, it's these castles in the sky that look stunning. That's really cool.
Definitely. Well, we're just waiting for those two teams to get ready, and
Yeah,
I'm really hoping to see a bit of PvP.
yeah, we're itching for it. As nice as the peaceful games have been, it's obviously nice to see some PvP for today. So we want to see players battling it out, fighting each other. So yeah,
So Mission Unblockable is an all-girls team. That's quite impressive. And if I'm
That's-
correct, they did set the fastest time.
Yeah. So yesterday was, I believe it was 121, and they took the lead. It's cool to see people of different groups or backgrounds and stuff coming together and still showing that no matter where you're from, you can do well in games. You can
Definitely.
win. You can have fun. You can enjoy it. You can just prove people that you can do what you want to do.
Yeah, well, I'm happy to see these two teams going head and head. And I think we're just waiting on one player from each team. So
Yeah, I believe this
if
one's
the time runs out, I think we'll go into a 3v3.
yeah. So it's going to be a 3v3 battle, which is nice. So every game we seem to be getting one player up. So we're getting a bit bigger, slightly bigger fights and slightly bigger teams every round, which is cool. We're slowly building up to bigger
Yeah.
games.
I think it's definitely going to be a fun day having the students with us and Unisa.
Unisa
Once again,
watching
a
us,
great
yeah.
shout out, a massive shout out to you guys for being here with us and making history.
I hope they're enjoying watching the stream. I hope your students are enjoying playing the games.
Yeah.
It looks like they're doing well, which is awesome.
If you're watching the stream, please go like and subscribe.
Yeah, our Academic Open Virtual Hub, where we're currently streaming now, the channel. So yeah,
Definitely interested to see what the comments might be in the chat.
yeah, we have about 1.5 minutes for this last player to join.
Yeah.
If not, we sadly will be moving on, and then moving on to the next game.
Yeah, let's take a look and see what's going to happen. And I am actually happy that these teams and students are having a bit of a break, having some fun on games.
Yeah, like you said, in the middle of exams, it's a stressful time for students, especially. We have a lot of my brother's also in the middle of exams at the moment. He's very stressed from what I can hear. So hopefully something like this is a lot more fun for them, a lot more comfortable, a lot more casual for them to do. So yeah.
So the next game after this one will be the Unis versus the Fire Tigers. That's also going to be a good game. We're just still waiting on a few players to join. Hopefully they can join before the time runs out. Otherwise, we'll unfortunately have to go into a 3v3.
Yeah, it's still something I'd love to see. Though. I love the teams getting slightly bigger. I love that we have teams of different sizes
Yeah.
doing all different kinds of things. Like we said, we had the team with one player winning, which is something I doubt anyone would have been able to predict happening because it's obviously a huge disadvantage, but they still managed to play out well. They did very well.
Yeah, now let's take a look. And
So who do
What
you
do
think
you
is going to be winning this one?
yeah, that's the question. It's definitely a difficult choice.
Yeah.
The Mission Unblockables did set record times yesterday with the friendly games that played, and yeah,
But now we need to see the PvP side of them, so
I
we
don't
need-
know.
yeah,
We'll
we
have
still got the
to-
belts to see how they might outplay the others in PvP. They might outsmart. It's like I said, there's many ways they can win, which is cool.
Yeah.
So no one's disadvantaged anyway, which I love.
Yeah,
Something
there's
nice to-
definitely, like we said, if you lose, it doesn't mean you're out. You can still make a massive comeback. And from the looks of the last game, that those students were just going for it, running for the flags, leaving the other players alone. I think there was one a player that PvP'd against another one. if I'm
Yeah,
correct.
I believe as they got to their final score, it looked like they were defending the player with the last flag to try
I
to
think that was more just maybe get out of the
Stop
way
it,
so I
yeah.
can grab the last flag.
got to win this one. It was definitely an interesting match. So I hope this one's just as interesting with close games because it's something I love about watching games that come so close. Just 1 point left each team. It's the
Yeah.
head, neck and neck. Just seeing who's going to get that last flag.
So
And
now
as we said, in such an even map, that they've got the same distance to run. No one's got a further distance, so it's intense. It's amazing to see.
let's take a look at this match happening in the next 5 seconds. Definitely interested to see what
So-
these teams will be doing.
Yeah, we've got the Beltors on the red side with their 3 players, and then on blue we have the Mission Unblockables.
the mission unblockable is just running for that flag in the middle. Let's see if these looks like the balloters might just grab that flag.
Yeah, Baltors get the middle flag. So the middle
Mission
flag obviously being the
Unblockable
easiest
stole the
free
flag.
point to get.
Let's see if they can make it to the scoring point.
Yeah, we've
I
definitely got an
think
interesting
he's
game
just
coming here.
running, trying to get that score in.
So as we said, compared to the first game, we've got people aren't taking their time looking around. Although we have one player here, we have them running, seeing who can get points the fastest, who can capture the flags the fastest, who can get the flags before the competitors, and we've already got Mission Unblockable getting 1 point.
Yeah, looks like Mission Unblockable is on the parkour section. Let's see if he can make those jumps.
Yeah, so they did well with the parkour yesterday during the speed runs. They've already got no hesitation, no mistakes. They've got the flag. So this could be their second point, depending how they go for it. For the all-girls team, they seem to be doing
That is
very well, very
interesting.
comfortable. See, something they haven't done compared to the first round is they trying their best not to accidentally place for the enemy team. So that was close there. He almost had someone from Mission Unblockable placing on the red capture point there.
Yeah, so Mission Unblockable on the second flag. Balloter still hasn't placed any flags. I did see one of them grabbing a flag. I don't think he placed it yet.
Yeah, Baltos seems to have dropped it by accident. I don't know if they misclicked or didn't grab it properly, but Mission Unblockables came and swooped in, stole the flag from them, they just moved on.
It looks like that Mission Unblockable is heading for the next score point. Let's see if they can place another flag.
They're going at it. We see they're trying to help each other to get it. It's currently... No.
Unfortunately, Mission Unblockable didn't place that flag.
But they are 3-0 so far, so they are definitely taking... So not only good at speedruns, but speed captures. So obviously quite a fast team. They're obviously an impatient team because they like things done and they like it done fast.
Let's see if the Balloters have collected any flags. Do you think they've placed anything yet? Or they
No.
might place one now. Let's see.
We have them checking out the capture
think
point. They
that-
definitely didn't have flags. Just checking that their capture point's still there.
Yeah.
But no flags on them. So still 0 for them at the moment. But yeah, so he's...
Looks like they're still
trying.
looking for that
There we go. The
Balloters.
Baltors have got their first point there. He's
as a yeah.
misplaced the
they
flag
scored the
there, but
first
yeah,
flag.
he's got his first point of the game.
It looks like that he might have more flags in his pocket. Or is that just a bit of latency that I'm seeing?
Yeah, he's struggling with something though. There we go. Yeah, he's just misplacing his flags there, so he's not capturing correctly. But the Baltors is just going for it.
Flags left, right, and center.
Wow. Submission Unblockable still going, but Baltors just won from 0 to 1 to 5, just like that.
Yo, that was incredible.
So, wow. Okay, so that was something unexpected. They're struggling a bit there with placing the flag in the end, so we thought, okay, maybe
Yeah.
they got one flag, trying to get that 1 point, but they went from 0 to 5 just like that.
Yo, Balloters got 5 flags.
Yeah,
It
so
looks like the Mission Unblockables missed that
just
last
missed their
flag
last flag. They
by
placed
a
the
few
flag that they...
seconds.
Yeah, they just seconds later after the Baltors, so another close game. It's
Well-
interesting. This is what I'm saying. It's interesting to see how the one team is going one flag at a time. They will capture
Yeah.
the Mission Unblockables. The girls team were capturing one flag place, whereas Baltors, who was at 0-3 at one point, just in one go, all flags go for it. While the other teams were looking around for more flags, we had one player just placing them all and won the game for them.
Yeah, that was quite interesting, keeping all the flags a secret to the rest of the players.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that they'd done all of that. So from what we saw is the Baltors played, like we said, we had one player that they'd been
Yeah.
giving all the flags to. They made sure the others, by the looks of it, were giving them flags or finding the flags for them. We just had one place, all of them in one go, so they had less to worry about, I guess. They had one teammate to just protect, and it worked. It worked very well in their favor.
That is definitely an interesting strategy they use for that run. It is always fun to see that there's new tricks up everybody's sleeves.
Yeah, it's definitely a high risk, high reward. Had the Unblockables just ganged up on this one player, for example, they would have lost all their flags to them. So it was high risk, high reward, and the reward paid out in the end. So it was an interesting strat.
Unfortunately, the mission unblockables did miss that last flag
So they were close.
with just a few seconds. But like we said, it's a double elimination
So
tournament.
they will have their chance again.
There is still another chance coming up, and they might. For a girls' team, I think they can definitely do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, as we said, people from any background, any skill level, all showing different strengths. They still definitely got fast time for yesterday, and I have a feeling they're going to come back later to prove that they improve on each round, as we saw yesterday, going from 8 minutes down to about 2 to 1.5, 121 seconds. So
Yeah, it's
they're
a good time.
definitely good with comebacks and stuff like that.
So, Aiden, what do you think is going to happen in the next match? First, it's the Unis versus the Fire Tigers.
So yeah, we hear the Tigers only have one teammate, so we have another lone wolf, or they seem to have one other partner. So this should be an interesting game. We're going back to something more similar to the second round we played, where they might be doing 2v2, but
Yeah.
it's or 2v3. So they're still outnumbered by 1 to Unis, but as we saw in the first game, the players with less teams aren't necessarily disadvantaged or going to lose
No,
if they
not
can
at all.
outplay the other team.
Well, is it just me, or is a bunch of students, and I think some of us also struggling? But I think we'll definitely get this tournament done and
Yeah.
make it a massive success for us and for Unisa as well.
As long as everyone's enjoying it, that's what matters the most, obviously. I'm definitely enjoying watching. I love to see how the players are playing so differently, how we have one team helping the other team,
Yeah.
whether it was intentional or not. We have other teams just pushing through speed runs. We have different play styles, different players. It's really cool.
Definitely.
All playing in a beautiful map is awesome. So, as we said, we saw the map earlier. I don't know if we can do another flyby of the map, but it's large. We've got a huge map. We've got all the scenery in the background. We've got individual objects. So it's something I would, if I were in the game, it's something I appreciate is background in a game, it's atmosphere. So I don't know how they don't do it, but I guess when the competitive side takes over, I would want to stop and just look at the map, just look around, look at the sunset in the distance. So it's a very, very beautiful game.
Some of the students, while they're waiting for the game to start, might be
checking
scoping out the environment and see what the landscape has to offer for them.
And it's just something that always bugged me is how players at other games would always say, "Oh, Minecraft's got bad graphics or it's blocky," but it's art style. That's Minecraft's art style. It's such a stunning game for something made of just blocks, something that almost looks constantly pixelated. It looks awesome.
I remembered back in the day when the first time I saw Minecraft, and I was like,
Yeah, you
I
unsure.
don't know, eh?
If you know nothing about it, it's always an unsure feeling.
yeah, I remember back then, I don't know if I can play this game, and when I finally just decided to go for it, it was actually the amount of things that you can do in it and the way you can learn out of it. It blew my mind. It's amazing to see how this game has become more of a learning opportunity as well as having fun and designing your own worlds, for instance.
Yeah, and you never run out of opportunity in Minecraft. There's always something to do. There's modes to play. There's the educational sides to it, like you said. There's my friend as well. He's an engineer, so he loves the redstone side. So all he does spending while my one friend's out hunting and mining, the other one will be at home building contraptions or homes that change or secret rooms and compartments. And it's cool to see how you can do all of that.
Yeah.
In such a simple game that we didn't have much expectation for. So if you go into Minecraft not knowing what's going to happen, you're always amazed in the end. And there's always, as you've said, you're always finding out more and more that you can do in Minecraft.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm pretty sure that some of these students are playing Minecraft in their free time and maybe building their own challenges, for instance, and just practicing for tournaments that might come up, for instance, like the one today. I did see some communication last night that the teams are practicing. That is definitely good to see.
Yeah, they're not just coming here taking it as a little silly thing to do. They're actually prepping up for the games, which is cool. Seeing how they're taking this quite seriously. And it shows how serious esports can be. My dad used to always think it was such a silly thing, gaming. until we were on DSTV and he was going through super sports channels and stuff. And in between the sports channels, he saw gamers playing games on the TV, and he was wondering why there's games on TV. And I told him what the game was and what they were doing, and he said, that's interesting that they're doing that. And then I told him how much money people have made from gaming and winning gaming tournaments, all the prizes they get, the prizes. It's huge opportunity for anyone, whether it's creators, players, whether you're doing it like Minecraft as an example. There are people who are making money off of the creations they make. They're selling their creations, not even just playing tournaments, everything. So it's really cool. There's so much you can do in gaming.
Yeah,
it's a big opportunity, and I think it's still growing even further, which is cool. So my dad went from gaming as just a hobby, not an actual thing, to maybe you should follow this gaming thing because you know a lot about it, and it seems to be everywhere at the moment.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a bunch of people that are still a bit hesitant on gaming and making a full-time career out of it. But to be honest, there is a bunch of streamers that have, you know what, they took the chance and they've made it. So it is definitely a viable career option. And it's not just about making a living out of it, but entertaining your fans and your viewers.
Yeah.
So for those of you who are watching, I hope you really enjoy the stream.
Yeah. And yeah, so speaking of the stream, hopefully we can get more people talking the stream. I don't know if everyone knows, but there is a chat that they can talk to. They can talk to us, ask questions, and we can engage with anyone watching if they want. We've got Unisa as well watching, and they can join in, talk to us if there's questions. We can answer as much as we can.
Definitely. For those of you who are watching the stream, comment your favorite team. Let's see what comes up.
Yeah, we've already got a comment with someone saying they love Minecraft, but it's weird for them to see Minecraft and Unisa in the same sentence. And it's something I agree with. It's something I always wanted through high school as a gamer, is to be able to play games like interlinked with school. It's not just an after school activity, it's something for school.
Yeah, no, I think that's definitely something to see, especially in the universities.
Yeah.
I think that the students might have fun.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at this upcoming game and see what these two teams will be doing. We'll be starting the match in about 5 seconds. Let's see who might score the quickest.
Yeah, as we said, we've got Eunice versus the Fire Tigers, but sadly Eunice is struggling with loading in their second player, so at the moment they're solo, but their teammate is still trying to get in. If they can get in, they will be teleported into the game, and then there will be a 2v3.
Yeah, I see there was a bit of PvP action against the Eunice,
so they do. I'm trying to figure out who's fighting yet. Already Blue's getting points. Red seems to be
are on fire already.
Yeah.
Grabbing the first flag.
So
it looks like he's heading up to the parkour challenge to grab the next one. There's one behind him. Let's see if he can make it.
Yeah, so Fire Tigers obviously have taken the lead. They're not playing just the same as the first match with helping the other team score, but they're like, no, they're going to take their advantage, and it's a normal thing to take the opportunity they're given, so they're going to take it, and hopefully they can move up using this advantage they've got.
It looks like Eunice is collecting the flags and not just placing it just yet.
Yeah, so we already got Eunice with 3 flags, so I'm wondering if the Tigers realize that their players got 3 flags on them, because if it's anything like the last match, we just need this one player to go place all of them and they will end it. So
Fire
Blue,
Tigers on 2.
yeah, they're doing one at a time. So technically, not actually yet, but technically Red is in the lead. They just need to put themselves there.
Let's see if you can place these flags. They've got 1, 2,
not struggling to place.
3, 4. Is that 5? Did I see that correct?
Red just won. Red as a solo player waiting, teammates trying to connect into the game, and Unis was like, you know what, no, I got this. You don't have to worry about your connections. You don't have to get in. I'll do it for you.
I did not expect that.
That was
insane.
I don't think they were.
5 flags right after each other. That was insane.
Yeah, it seems to be a common thing we're seeing so far in the tournament. But yeah, the players were brawling out a bit at the beginning, like no, shame the players solo. Let's just go get flags. Blue, the Tigers were doing one at a time, and yet again they ignored the player, thinking cool. They're obviously not finding flags because they're not placing any. In the
Yeah.
meantime, they have 5 flags in the inventory, placed it all at once, end the game just like that. No competition.
I think
So
it's
it's
a good
good.
strategy to let the other team think we're not scoring, but in secret
Yeah.
we're gonna score 5 flags,
It
one after
makes
the other.
makes it feel like they're taking it a bit easy. Like, okay, cool, they're struggling. We don't have to push as hard. We don't have to rush or anything. And
Yeah.
then the game's over, and they're sitting there like, oh,
Definitely.
interesting.
Well, I think that was actually a record time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and as a solo player especially, they went for it. It was brilliant.
Yeah. The
So, yeah,
student,
they-
unfortunately, one of
For
them
a solo
couldn't
student, they
connect,
did well.
correct?
Yeah, their teammate was still trying to connect, and they finished the game before they even got the opportunity to. So, well done to that.
Yeah. It is
That's,
definitely something to see, and it was really
yeah,
impressive.
with less teammates to spot out the flags, get the flags, fight as well. Like we said, there was a bit of brawl in the beginning. They still won, and not only won, they record time so far as a solo player. That was very well done. I'm assuming someone who has definitely played Minecraft before. They seem to know what they were doing. So, yeah, these matches are interesting, all in their own ways, which is something I love. Like I said, first match wholesome, second one a bit more chilled, and then just speed running in the matches.
So it looks like our next match is going to be the Supersonic Crafters versus the RBM Pillagers. What do you expect in that
So
match?
this is the Pillagers' second game and the Crafters' second game. So this is our first of the lower bracket matches. So as
Yeah.
we said there's a lower bracket so that players who lost their first rounds get an opportunity to play again. The sad thing
So
is
they can come
obviously is this round you lose, you're out. So this
Yeah,
is their
unfortunately.
their last opportunity to move up. This is their elimination match, and winning team will move on. Winning team can still easily win the game, even if, or the whole tournament, even if they did lose the first round.
Well, for this upcoming match, I think that both the teams have lost the first one, but they can still make a comeback. And I am quite excited to see what these two teams will be doing.
Yeah.
Are they going to stack the flags, or maybe just grab one at a time and go place it? Let's see.
Yeah, so let's look at the bracket and see where we're at so far. And we can see now the bottom brackets start filling in for the lower brackets. Yeah.
So we've got the
So-
Supersonic Crafters versus the RBM Pillagers in our first lower bracket.
And just as the next bracket is going to be the Mission Unblockables versus the Fire Tigers, we can see who's going to, if anyone's going to make some sort of comeback. And yeah, in our first quarterfinals match, it's going to be Turmoil versus the Dahomey Amazons. So we're going to see now later is going to be the winning teams, their first games against each other.
Well, if I'm correct, that the Dahomey Amazons did struggle a bit yesterday, if I'm correct.
Yeah, there was connection issues, so it wasn't anything player-based or skill-based. It was just, I believe it might have even been load shedding. They were struggling to connect.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were a bit disappointed with that. Luckily, yesterday wasn't as big. It was a bit more casual. So today is hopefully gonna stay a bit more stable with the connection.
Well, I'm sure that these teams will definitely be competing, and maybe let's see who takes that win.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited to see these two teams going head and head, and definitely having fun.
Yeah, something I want to see is hopefully the Crafters, because I believe it was them, if I remember correctly, don't place on the opposing team's side this time.
That was
So yeah, it's
that
going to be a
was
bit more of an even match. So hopefully they don't have to do something like that this time, and they can put their all in. They can do a bit more of an aggressive or more of a, like you said, PvP match. So
yeah.
you can see if they're going to do something like that.
Well, that's definitely a good thing to see, is that even if you're trying to win the game, there's always a helping hand out there that helps
Yeah.
someone in need.
No, it's nice to see good sports still in games,
Yeah.
especially in the gaming community. That there can be a lot of toxic people, as any gamer would know, but it's really cool to see players doing stuff like this with each other. They didn't even hesitate. It was just straight into cool. They're disadvantaged. We're not going to fight. even going to help them.
Yeah. No. Definitely rooting for these teams and these students to just go in, play their hearts out, and just have fun while doing it. We are
Yeah.
waiting for one more player from the Supersonic Crafters. I'm pretty sure that he or she will be able to get in and have some fun.
Yeah, hopefully they connect before the game starts this time so they get a chance to play.
Yeah.
Do you know how many players are on each team at the moment?
So if I'm correct, there should be 4 on each side.
4.
We have been seeing a bit of connection issues and technical difficulties, to be honest.
Yeah. So, yeah, especially with load shedding being a bit higher than it has been lately, and with this being a less controlled environment, with players obviously playing at their own places, whether it's their homes or wherever they feel comfortable playing,
Yeah.
it's they need to find somewhere that they're not affected by things like this. So, but yeah,
There is technical staff on site, if I'm correct, that
Yeah.
will be helping
or
them.
on standby. So we've got them ready to help
Okay.
in any way that they can. We've got them talking to the students. So
Helping
we've
them
got
get
anyone
into
trying
the
to help.
games and
Yeah.
connect.
So they're in constant communication with the students, which is great. So they never have to feel
Yeah.
alone if they're struggling. So yeah, there's no disadvantages. There's no one who, they can't connect. There's nothing we can do. We've got our team with them, chatting to them, talking to them, trying
Trying
to
to
help
help
in any
as
way
much
they
as
can get
possible.
them into the
Yeah.
game. Because we don't, as we've said, we don't want any players missing out on the opportunities here. We don't want anyone.
Definitely. Well, it does look like that some of the teams have been struggling and unfortunately had to compete without a player or two, and even 3, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Where some of the teams only have 1 player, and that's still impressive to see that one team.
Yeah, so far the players that have had one player were both winning teams, moving up in the top bracket.
That's
They
insane.
could even be winning the tournaments if they play as well as they have been. So
Definitely.
that's
Let's
something
hope.
I'd love to see, something a bit unexpected and different.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that those teams can get their teammates back in and maybe join them
Yeah,
and have a
hopefully.
bit of fun while doing so.
Yeah, hopefully it's a bit less of a lonely game for them.
Yeah, so
So yeah,
we are just waiting for that last player, if I'm correct.
yeah, they have 30 seconds sadly until they join. If not, we are going to start the game. Obviously, we'll try to get them in while they play, but there's only so much we can do from here, sadly.
Yeah.
But we are trying everything we can. We're doing our best to help them get in, see what might be causing the issues, what they can do differently, trying different things to get them into the game.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited to see
Yeah.
these teams going head and head, and it is quite a pain to see the load shedding
Yeah.
affecting people and our students.
Yeah, and I know especially on the student life, load shedding can be quite difficult. With
Yeah.
my friend yesterday is doing her exams online, and she had load shedding. She couldn't submit exams. Just depending on how the exams are set up, you sometimes can't even move to the next page because they won't submit. So
Sure, that's definitely not a fun one.
yeah, so it's stressful. And I mean, if you like, I don't know about you, if you've got a generator or an inverter, some people, because they're very expensive things, so it's not always something
Yeah.
everyone can have access to, and they're also quite limited. So it's quite a difficulty to have.
Yeah, no, definitely. Let us know what you think about the load shedding and if it's affecting you at the moment. If it
Yeah.
does, well, I hope you have your phone ready for the stream because we
'Cause,
would love to have you here.
As our next game should be starting soon, so we definitely need to.
Yeah, let's see this next game, and
We've got
we are
10
starting in
seconds,
10
so-
seconds.
Yeah.
I hope the players do enjoy the site and maybe take a look around them.
Yeah. Just.
And the game is off. It
Yeah.
looks like we've got a 1v2, if I'm correct.
Yeah, the pillagers as well going straight forward out the start.
Supersonic Crafters has 1 player and the RBM Pillagers has 2. They have collected a flag. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, so we obviously couldn't get that player in. Sadly, they were struggling with connection, but as we've seen, the solo players don't seem to be struggling. So we've got the pillagers ahead by 1 point so far, and the game's only just begun, so we'll have to do quite a quick start again. But that's nothing new from these games from what we've seen so far.
It looks like the Supersonic Crafters is going to place it on the wrong team's side, if I'm correct. Are you seeing this?
Yeah, it's something so that I'm wondering if their first game was an intentional help or if it was accidental. Regardless, they helped and it was wholesome, whether they meant for it to be or not.
I think that the RBM might be on 2 flags, if I'm correct. I see he is holding one in his hand. Let's see if he can go and place that flag.
Yeah, they're also going for a hold all, capture all type of strat. So we've got the Villagers at 2 and Supersonic still at 0 so far, sadly.
It looks like there's a bit of a PvP. He's trying to block him to not be able to place that flag.
Oh. So we've got...
RBM.
The pillagers seem to be helping, saying, okay, listen, you aren't at the right side. I don't know if
I'm correct, RBM
if the
is
crafters.
on 4.
Yeah, I'm not sure if the Supersonic crafters are realizing that the other players are trying to help them, but so the blue team has already won. The Sonics are struggling with which side is theirs by the looks of it, for which capture points.
Unfortunately, they have...
Yeah, so the Supersonic has been eliminated then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad. So they obviously didn't know what they were doing, or they didn't realize. We had the pillagers trying to help them, which was nice to see as well. They were trying to stop them and like tell them, listen, you're at the wrong home here. This isn't your home. But yeah, it's just unfortunate that hopefully they will realize afterwards that they were in the wrong side there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still someone did comment on the chat that it's cool to see Unisa already getting involved in gaming, as it's something no other universities are doing yet.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they're ahead of the curve. Even one of their students are agreeing, saying they love studying at Unisa, and it's one of the many reasons they love studying there is they try keep ahead of what other universities might be doing.
Yeah.
So introducing gaming, like we've said, is a very new thing in South Africa as well. Gaming into education, whether it's high schools or universities, and Unisa is, as we've said in the comments, staying ahead of that curve.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see that the universities, especially Unisa, is bringing in new things for the students to enjoy and learn.
Yeah.
And I definitely think Minecraft is a new learning opportunity. Just for me, it unlocks a certain part of my brain where I can actually enjoy it and have a bit of fun while doing it.
It unlocks creative sides, it unlocks your logical sides. It's, like you said, there's a lot to Minecraft. And something I also love with as we were talking about earlier, high schools, universities and stuff introducing gaming, is that it's something I used to think of as well during high schools with extramurals. There were obviously kids who didn't always enjoy sports or struggled with sports, or there was reasons they couldn't play. So not everyone wanted to, but that was what most schools offered as extramurals, was primarily sports. Obviously with extramurals and everything like that. So seeing
I think times have changed.
Yeah, so seeing now kids can sit behind their computers, play their games, still show school spirit in other ways, in more digital ways especially, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's something I definitely wished I had during school.
Well, I think so. This next match is going to be Mission Unblockable versus the Fire Tigers. This is still the second bracket, if I'm correct?
Yeah, the bottom brackets at the moment. So obviously the loser of this game will be eliminated, sadly, but then they can move on, and we can see if the bottom bracket can move up, maybe even win the tournament.
Yeah.
But it's good to see so far. I feel bad for the crafters though. They were playing well. It's just in the wrong locations. That's the only issue though, sadly.
Well, Mission Unblockable is definitely a good team. They did really well with yesterday's speedrun challenges, and they did set amazing times. If I'm correct, the next match is going to start in, I think, 7 minutes?
Yeah, quarter two. So 7 minutes, the next match should be starting. And so I'm keen to see, we've got, again, the Mission Unblockable, as you said, the all-girls team coming back to play against the Tigers. We want to see who can win. Hopefully one of the teams realizes the strats that are working for everyone and see if they pick up on that. Maybe if they start also doing blocking out. So yeah, I'm wondering if any of the teams, as we saw from the previous games, where Blue was trying to block the supersonic crafters from placing
Yeah.
to help. I'm wondering if other teams will do that more as blocking them from their own home base so they can't place. If they're going to think of clever things like that.
Well, it's definitely a good strategy to use by blocking the opposing team from scoring
Gotcha.
flags and getting their score up. It's definitely something that I would do
Yeah,
in
and
that case,
yeah,
especially if I'm running a bit late on flags.
you have one guy sit on the flag, just stop them, slow them down for a bit, keep your team up.
Yeah, while the rest of your teammates are busy running around collecting flags.
And it's definitely something that would force a PvP, because obviously to get them off the block, you're going to have to hit the player off, hit place if they're going to come straight back on.
Yeah.
It will definitely make a challenge for them.
I believe that we are back on schedule.
Yeah, so we're actually even moving ahead of schedule, so we've caught up quite well with connecting players up, getting everything set up, and yeah, we will be starting our next game in like just over 5 minutes.
Okay, nice. Yeah, let's see what these two teams has to offer. And I'm pretty sure that one of them is going to make a comeback. I'm not sure which one though.
Yeah, both teams are doing their own things. I believe, if I remember correctly, the Mission Unblockable were doing the single play strat. They weren't
Yeah,
collecting all and placing. So we'll see if they're going to change that up, or if they're going to see if they can just be even faster this game.
definitely. Well, it is both strong teams and good sportsmanship.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just moving back again to how things have advanced, have you ever, it's something I've never experienced but would love to, is if, I don't know if you've seen it, is that Minecraft is in VR as well.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. I don't know. My head spins a lot when I use the VR.
Yeah, it's an overwhelming effect to begin with, but it's something that looks very cool to me. The game looks stunning as well.
Yeah. No, there's a bunch of worlds that have been built, and it's fun seeing how students and school kids as well playing with the VRs and seeing how the world looks in a different point of view.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's always fun moving around, jumping
Yeah.
between the worlds.
And you feel like you're in the game. So with the VR, so I'm wondering with Minecraft, when you've got these amazing creations, like you said, that the kids are building, or the students or adults, anyone building, and you get into the game with your VR, you put the set on, you inside the game, like you're actually there and you're staring at something you've created.
Yeah, no,
I think that's such an amazing feeling.
it is definitely, and especially if some of your maps is being published and showcased, not
Yeah.
just in South Africa and our universities, but hopefully across the globe.
Yeah, I imagine seeing something you uploaded, you published, getting comments, downloads, likes,
Yeah,
something you created in a virtual world, some like a piece of virtual art that you created.
I think it's always a exciting feeling that you get for when people comment on your work and your maps, that they love it. And I think there's definitely potential in map building. It's like we said, that games is a career option to choose. If it's streaming or just playing it, it's
Yeah.
definitely, there is a bunch of options to choose from.
Yeah, and we've got popular Minecraft streamers, a lot of YouTubers, Twitch streamers and stuff that play
Yeah.
like almost purely Minecraft, making a lot of money off of it and doing very well for themselves.
Definitely.
It's
It is-
obviously something difficult to get into, but it's a huge opportunity if you can do it right.
Yeah, there is a couple of different platforms that most of the streamers use. I think Facebook, Twitch, and a bunch more, if I'm correct.
Yeah, there's many streaming sites out there that people are using. Twitch obviously being one of the top ones, one of the most popular at the moment. Or just even YouTubers at the moment.
Yeah, we're using YouTube.
Yeah, so
I think there is a Microsoft platform as well. Do you by any chance know the name of it?
no, that's interesting. For what, streaming?
Yeah, it's a streaming platform.
That's
You might
interesting.
have
Yeah,
to
everyone's trying to
Google
hop
it.
on this. Just it shows the streaming business is obviously expanding. If you get big companies like that trying to expand on what's become popular.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
I'm definitely happy to be here today, and for Unisa, a big thanks for this. And I'm quite happy to see these students having fun, and I'm quite interested to see what these games are going to play off like.
Yeah, and we're closing into halfway through the tournament, or maybe just over. We still got a few bottom brackets left, and obviously a few winning brackets left, and eventually, soon enough, we'll be in the finals. It's going
Yeah.
faster than I thought it would. Actually, a lot of these players aren't holding back; they're giving it all from the get-go.
And
We see the second the game starts, all the players are running out.
yeah, and I'm quite happy to see these students just going for it, running. It's almost to see like they're in a speed run challenge, just
Yeah,
going and grabbing the flags and placing them down. And a bunch of them have been just collecting it until they have about 5 flags to go and place and take the game.
yeah. I'm wondering if they stop at 5 or if they just go cool flags, flags, flags. I'm gonna capture them. And
Well, there is-
might have even 7 or 8 flags in
Yeah.
one.
There is 11 flags placed across the map. I'm not sure if we've seen some of the players with more than 5.
Yeah, I think as a completionist, I would, and to challenge myself if I were in here, I'd see if I could get all 11 before doing anything,
Yeah.
which would also again make the other teams go to come get you to get the flags, and you see if you can just get all the flags into one space, and then yeah,
I see that we are going to start the next match in 1 minute. Hopefully that all the players are locked in and ready to go.
And do you remember how many players are in each team at the moment?
I think we'll get a bit of feedback regarding that.
If all players are connected and everything,
Let's see.
and yeah, so it's,
Well, I'm sure the Mission Unblockables and the Fire Tigers are going to give it their best.
yeah, they are
And
on their
let's see
Discord's
what
prepping.
happens.
So the game will be starting in just under 10 seconds now, and we're going to see this is the next bottom bracket. So whoever loses this match will be eliminated and will not be able to play further, and the winners will move on. Obviously, like I said, being able to still win the tournament if they play well enough.
I'm not seeing
So-
any players.
Players aren't teleporting. So yeah, we did say, I was worried about that. As we were doing ahead of schedule, we got a disconnection again. So yeah, just players weren't connecting into the game, so we're just trying to fix that at the moment quickly.
No, it's definitely a good thing to have a few people with us, and
Yeah,
I
we've
do
got a
hope
nice
that they
team.
enjoy the stream, and like I said, comment your favorite team.
Yeah, I'm wondering who everyone thinks is going to win. We've already got supporters cheering on some of the players, everything like that. We had someone answer Microsoft Stream is the name of the streaming service.
Thanks for that.
So yeah, we've got people engaging, which is great. I love it. We love to see that. And yeah, just something I was going to say is back to the VRs. We were talking about how the players sprint out, and I'm wondering in a VR situation what that would feel like. I wonder how into it. I've seen a lot of people playing on the VR, and they get like they're actually in the game, sprinting full on, arms flailing.
I think
It's
we're
like a
going to need a
tiring
bit of
thing.
space for that one.
Yeah, it's something I'd love to see sometime soon. Projects to be worked on. Yeah, and it's good to see that Unisa's keeping up with things like this. So, yeah, I've even seen one of my old colleagues who I used to work with would work in VR, which was something very fascinating to me. He'd
Oh, wow.
work from his bed. He was a developer as well, so he sat from his bed with his VR here, his computer up there and everything, and he would sit and type with his keyboard and everything from VR. He could look around at the different monitors, all within his VR headset.
That is
So from the comfort
actually
of his
quite
own bed
interesting.
doing his job. Yeah, it's amazing to see what VR can come with.
Definitely.
We'll see what we can introduce. Like I said, I still want to experience VR myself in Minecraft. I haven't yet, sadly. My only VR experience is the typical where there's a VR stand at a festival and they go, cool, come try it out, and there's a roller coaster. And where everyone's screaming, I'm still in there looking around, enjoying the view, and everyone else is screaming and stuff in the thing. But yeah, you said you've done VR here?
I have tried it out a couple of times. Like I said, it does get my head spinning.
Yeah.
Definitely not used to that type of environment. I'm more of a PC fan, computers. So, it's Minecraft has definitely opened up a new world for me, and to see what you can do in it, I used to play it just for fun of it and yeah, fool around in it. I remember back in the day that I used to love the TNT, just stacking it up and watching everything blow up. That was definitely a fun thing for me. I haven't tried a lot of survival modes, mostly playing around in creative, being able to
Survival's
design new
definitely
things, new maps, and so on.
yeah, survival's definitely my favorite. So yeah, we'll get back onto that. We're going into the match now. I think we've fixed some connections, so we're moving, and we'll be starting in about 5 seconds now.
Let's see what these two teams will do.
So as we said, we've got the Fire Tigers versus the Mission Unblockables. Mission Unblockables being the all-girls team from yesterday that won with the fast. They were the fast time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 1 minute 21
It
seconds.
seems that we are
So-
having a bit of technical issues.
Yeah, so I think just to figure out what it is that keeps causing this crash at the beginning of the game, we're gonna just go into a small intermission, see if we can figure out what it is causing this.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
not
so we'll be
seeing
back
any
shortly, sadly.
students getting into the game. I'm definitely hope that there isn't a massive connection issue and
Yeah.
that these two teams will still be able to play, and I believe they will.
Yeah, hopefully it's not something too major to fix. I blame whoever jinxed it, saying we were ahead of schedule, because that definitely slowed us. It's the game after them saying that definitely slowed us down.
I hope
So
it's not me.
group jinxing is real. But yeah, cool. Yeah,
I think we might have a caster's curse.
yeah. Even though it wasn't necessarily one of us who said it, but I did say it out loud. It didn't touch the wood of the table, so that one might be on me. Hopefully not, but yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna take a short intermission,
yeah.
and then
Okay, so
we'll definitely be back
Players
to get these two teams
can
playing
stretch their
and
legs and
get
Yeah.
the one back into a lead, I guess.
yeah, see who wins. So we'll be back shortly.
And we're back. It looks like they might have solved that issue.
Yeah, it was quite a quick fix by the looks of it. It didn't even stand up for too long, so not too much waiting for our viewers, which is great.
Yeah. Let's see
we're
what
getting
these two teams will be doing. Let's take a look at the game.
Going straight back into the game.
I'm glad to see that the teams are in now. Let's see who is going to grab that first flag in the middle of the map.
Yeah, it seems to be the first target most people go for there.
There is a bit of PvP action.
Straight
It
up
looks like
fight over
Mission
the first
Unblockable did steal that flag.
Yeah. They're all discussing where to
Mission
move the lane.
Unblockable placing that flags. Wow. in
Yeah,
record
claim the
time.
flag. No. Yeah, they're not losing that flag in a fight, so
That
claim
is
it,
really
move
not.
on with their lives.
So we have
Okay,
Mission
going down.
Unblockable on 1.
We got
and
both teams moving to the
Fire
bottom. Oh, we got
Tigers
some
on
fights.
0. It
Nice.
looks like Fire Tigers have 2 flags, maybe.
Yeah, we
maybe
got
more.
more. So Fire Tigers are doing the strat again to move on. So we just hope Mission Unblockable picks up on that and we see an even.
It looks like
Game.
they're just grabbing the flags.
Yeah, we've
piling
moved up
it
to
up.
1
There
each.
is- Yeah. So if he grabs that last flag, I think they might have 4, if I'm correct.
Yeah, it looks
Unless
like they're
he
about to end the
places
game
them.
soon. So if Mission Unblockables doesn't move quickly, they are going to lose to another quick game. So we've got to move on. So we hope they realize that they're following the strats that most people have done. But yeah,
Mission Unblockable on 1 flag and the Fire Tigers on 1 flag.
yeah.
It looks like that Fire Tigers are going for the placements. He places 1 flag, 2, 3. I think they might take this
4.
game.
There we go. Fire Tigers has won.
That's definitely a good strategy to use.
Yeah, quick. The match ended up being quicker than it was to fix the technical difficulties, and the difficulties were fixed quick. So you can tell it's quite a quick game there.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
unfortunately the Mission Unblockables have been.
Eliminated.
Yeah, they didn't make it.
So-
It was a close game though. They were, I think, 1 or 2 flags behind.
Yeah. So
And well, for the Fire Tigers, welcome back, and I'm
Back to the
definitely
game.
keen to see what you'll be doing in the next round.
yeah. So from Mission Unblockables winning yesterday's games with the top time to sadly being eliminated now in their second game. So unfortunately for them, that's their out. But yeah,
Yeah,
we can see how Fire Tigers move on.
definitely. And like we said, even if you lose your first games, there is always the second bracket that you can still make a comeback.
Yeah, so that was sadly their second bracket and their bottom bracket game. And our next match is going to be the Dahomey Amazon versus Turmoil.
Yes.
So yeah,
Let's
I
see
believe
what these
Turmoil
two
played
teams
quite well. I
have
believe both
in
played
store
quite
for
well.
us.
Yeah. So Amazon's was the one player that ended up winning by themselves, so that was impressive. We're going to see if they're going to do that again or if their teammate is at least going to be able to join them on it. See,
I'm
maybe they
hoping
said
some
even a
of the
faster time.
teammates will be able to join, even if there is some technical difficulties. For instance, if it's load shedding or maybe just connection issues, it will be nice to have a bunch of full teams. I'm definitely hoping on seeing a 4v4 included with a bit of PvP.
Yeah, we've got some of those players slapping and punching each other so far. And then, yeah, as you said, this
Yeah.
is the Dahomey
This-
Amazons versus Turmoil, and after their match, we will have about a 20 minute, half an hour intermission after this for just a quick break. Everyone can relax, maybe eat
Stretching my
quick,
legs a
yeah,
bit.
stand up, cool down a bit, wipe our sweat off, make sure there's hopefully no more technical difficulties, that we can get as many players in as possible before we
Yeah.
start moving on to the quarterfinals. Are we moving to quarterfinals,
I think
semifinals?
we'll
I
be
believe.
going to. We're in the quarterfinals
Yeah.
now.
So then semifinals after this.
So I've got a quick question for all the students and the viewers watching. Comment what your load shedding schedules look like, so that we know if some of the students that are participating today is actually experiencing a bit of load shedding, or what may be the issue.
Yeah. I even see one of the students did comment. They're from Unisa, it was the same one from earlier, and they would have liked to be part of this tournament and sadly couldn't make it because of their studies.
Yeah.
But luckily for them, we will be doing a lot more tournaments than this. Hopefully, different times. Hopefully, some are around exam time, some around not, because obviously exam times are very different for other people. But they will definitely be able to join more tournaments from here.
Yeah.
We will.
I think there's one player we're waiting on from
Yeah.
the Dahomey.
The Dahomey
Amazons?
Amazons, yeah. And
I'm
then
sure they'll
we
be able
begin.
to make a good comeback, and let's see what these two teams
Yeah,
have to offer.
So I love the switch ups. We had the Mission Unblockables doing very well yesterday and sadly getting eliminated
Definitely.
today. And we had the Dahomey Amazons yesterday struggling with their connection and now soloing the games, pushing through the tournament almost alone actually. So they're doing very well.
So-
They're showing us that we definitely missed out on something yesterday with them not being able to connect.
It looks like we've got a bunch of interaction on the chat. So, Hilmary, I see your next load shedding schedule is at 4. Well, I hope you have a generator so that you can still watch the stream. I think we will also go into load shedding at 4, so hopefully we'll be able to get this tournament done before we have load shedding. Otherwise, we
We
will be
do have it.
experiencing a bit of downtime.
Yeah, but yeah, so depending how we run with getting back onto schedule, we hopefully will be able to get things done just before that. But yeah, hopefully with you guys also having load shedding, you can get your food in. I know there's multiple times I'm trying to boil the kettle for coffee and then ended up waiting about half an hour for it to boil, 10 minutes, and then pouring in freezing cold water into my coffee. So
I don't know about you, but I wouldn't mind a cup of coffee.
yeah, I know iced coffee would be nice considering how hot it is.
It is, yeah. It looks like we might have a bit of clouds over us, and unfortunately, it's still hot in
Yeah.
the studio.
You think a bit of sun blockage would cause a bit of a cooler current to come in, but no,
Yeah.
even with the aircon, I'm not feeling much. Luckily, it's nothing too loud for them to hear us, but yeah, it is sadly quite hot out here today on Saturday. Someone did say that rain would be coming in soon to cool it off, and if it does come in, it won't be stopping for a while. I'm someone who personally loves raining, gaming in a raining environment. When it's raining outside, you're just chilling at home.
It's
It's-
definitely a fun environment to be in, especially if you're playing games.
Yeah, it's
and
just like atmospheric.
Chilling.
It's if it's raining outside, like a decent storm, a bit of thunder, like you know the videos you YouTube to sleep, that type of thunder, gentle thunderstorm,
Definitely.
with playing one of your favorite games, something quite relaxed. It's like it's such a nice vibe. Like
Yeah.
you said, a nice cup of coffee next to you there. That's something we love.
I'm hoping we get a bit of rain today and maybe get this heat in the studio down.
Yeah, I'd love something like that. It's just cool off a bit. Going back to the rain thing as well, so I've always had insomnia, so I always struggled to sleep, and something I've recently discovered that helps quite a bit is like you get the videos of people who watch like rain videos, gentle thunder videos. There's Minecraft versions of it, so it's just a 10-hour video of Minecraft rain with some Minecraft calming music.
I think I'm
children's
gonna
stuff.
start playing Minecraft a lot more now.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful one. There's something calming about rain.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's something cool. So then the fact that there are people who are making there's even like slow playthroughs that will go through for like 5 to 8 hours where a player will build a beautiful building in the middle of a swamp or in the middle of a lake, all with the rain set to constant. So it's constantly raining as they build, and it's meant for people who are studying or trying to sleep and they can't sleep, just to have playing in the background as they relax.
Yeah,
So where some
definitely.
people might have their lo-fi playlists, you can have casual Minecraft playthrough.
Yeah,
And it's
nah,
just, it can be such a peaceful game when you want it to be.
I do enjoy the rain a lot. I don't know about you, but I do enjoy it, especially with the fresh air and a cool breeze. It's
Yeah, the
always
smell
fun
of
to
rain.
have that.
Something of the smell of rain as well.
Definitely. And I think our teams are busy getting ready, and we will start the match in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, so next game, Turmoil versus the Dahomey Amazons before our brief intermission, and then I believe we'll be in semi-finals.
So yeah, I think let's quickly take a look. There's going to be about 4 matches before we go into the semi-finals. We're
And
currently
yeah,
in the quarterfinals with the Dahomey Amazons versus the Turmoils.
yes, and I believe they're ready to play. If I've heard correctly, we're swapping to the game, and we'll be starting in 10 seconds.
Let's take a look at what these teams will be doing.
I see we've got supporters of Dahomey in the chat cheering their team on, which is great to see. It's something I'm really keen to see in person, is hearing the people screaming for
So
their
it
teams.
looks like the Dahomey Amazon still has one player, unfortunately. And the
It didn't stop
Turmoils
them last
are
game.
2 players. Let's see if we can follow the Turmoils a bit more.
Yeah, so... Oh, we've already got fighting, so yeah, they're not giving Dahomey Amazons the opportunity to come back like they did last game, so... We can see they're keeping the solo player from the Amazons off. Or from
Turmoil
Turmoil,
trying
sorry.
to see where that flag is hidden. It is a bit hard to see.
Yeah,
Looks like he found it.
the grey on grey was definitely done intentionally.
It is a good hiding spot though.
Yeah, but they definitely learned from their previous games. They know which flags they want to go to and where to go first to get the most flags in the shortest time. So it's cool to see players learning from stuff like that.
It looks like that Turmoil might go for another flag, or is he going to place it? Looks like he's heading into the parkour section.
Okay, that's struggling a bit there. And we've got more supporters in chat cheering their players on, something we love seeing.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like the Turmoil is grabbing another flag, and the Dahomey Amazons
Oh,
has
grabbing.
also took another flag.
So as we've seen, the flag haul seems to have been winning most of the games. So being the top bracket, these teams both do the same idea. So red is 1 flag off already from doing that.
Quick 4 flags that he placed.
Yeah, so
Let's see if
I
he
wonder
can
if
grab
they
that
obviously
last
didn't realize they were 1 off and have to run back quick, hoping that they can get 1 more flag before blue team gets theirs. I'm wondering, blue team hasn't placed any
I see
yet.
there's a bit of PvP action going on.
Oh no.
I think
Yeah, this is what we've been waiting
Turmoil
for.
doesn't know where that last flag is, and I think he might. It looks like red has
And red
won.
Wow. Red, while fighting, red seemed to manage to place their last flag. They captured and placed their flag, and Turmoil has won.
Yeah, that
Was
was,
this-
definitely
was
a
that-
good thing to see.
Was that another solo win?
I think
Turmoil?
they might have 2 players, or
Was they this team of 2?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Let's see what has happened there.
So I don't think Dahomey's got any places there from what I saw. So just Turmoil got their places in. Dahomey were obviously collecting the flags, but Turmoil got theirs before Dahomey could get any places in.
Definitely. Well, I'm definitely happy to see that. It looks like we're gonna have a short intermission.
Yeah. So as we said, about 20-30 minutes intermission, just to give everyone a bit of a break and a breather, get some food, coffee,
Yeah.
and then we'll be right back into it. So we can see if we can find any of the challenges that we were struggling with the connection issues, fix those to make sure that as we play on, it's a bit more smooth from here on.
I think it's also important to maybe take a bit of time and see if we can help the students to connect into the games and get a bit of a full squad, a 4v4 squad.
Yeah, and we appreciate the patience Unisa's had, but we hope they're still enjoying it regardless.
We
Load
do.
shedding isn't on our side, sadly.
So I would just like to apologize for load shedding and for some of the students that have been struggling to connect to the games, and well, I'm sure we'll figure something out and get you guys into it.
Yeah, but we'll see you all shortly after the intermission.
And we're back. Thanks for taking this short break with us. It was definitely needed to get a couple of the players back in and definitely helping out with some of the technical difficulties that they've been experiencing. And yeah,
Yeah, just sorting out a few difficulties and issues that we had there, but we're going to see if we can push through and get this tournament over with.
yeah.
See if we can enjoy the rest of it, see how the players go, see how finals go. I'm excited to see the finals. Yeah.
We are currently in the quarterfinals, the second game into the quarterfinals. There is 3 more to go, and then we'll jump into the semifinals. What do you think will happen in these last 3 games for the quarterfinals, Aiden?
I'm not sure. We've seen so far, based on whether it's the top bracket or the lower brackets playing, the top brackets have the strat of collect all, dump all. And then the lower brackets still sometimes, some of them do that, otherwise sometimes they go one at a time. Both strategies can work, just depending how you go through with them.
Definitely.
And obviously then after that, when we move to semi-finals and finals, we will be changing the map as well, so a new setting, a new feel for the players.
Yeah,
So I'm excited to see how the students deal with the new map.
definitely. And the next game we've got is the Unis versus Bellator's, correct?
Yeah, the Beltors versus the Unis. You can see how they do that. Is this at the bottom or the top bracket?
So this is still the top bracket, the winning bracket.
Yes.
And yeah, what do you think is going to happen between these 2 teams?
I don't know. Again, considering our last games at the top brackets, I feel like they're going to do the collect as many flags as they can, see who can collect at least 5 first, and go get all of them done. Maybe some people fighting to slow down like we saw in the last game. See if they're a bit more of the aggressive teams or more of the peaceful teams, and we see where it goes from there.
Yeah. So, just a quick question for chat. Who are you voting for in this next challenge, in this next game?
Yeah, we've seen the supporters we've had so far, mostly Dahomey and then some Turmoil supporters as well.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
we're hoping there's some Unis and some Beltor supporters watching.
I think it's going to be an interesting game, seeing these 2 teams going head and head to collect 5 flags to get the victory and progress to the next stage. I'm not gonna vote for anyone, so luckily I do have my team hat with me. It's the Minecraft hat. So I'm
Nothing biased.
definitely voting for Minecraft.
Yeah. Something I'm also excited to see come into play sooner in other tournaments later is to see how like Unisa students and stuff will do in different competitions such as build competitions. So it's something we've done before, is build competitions where the players will have a certain amount of time to build like a theme. We'll give them a car following the South African theme, or trucks, or a military base. So we give a specific theme, and we see within, let's say, half an hour, sometimes 45 minutes, depending how big a build might be, we see who builds what, and we end up voting on our favorite builds.
Yeah.
So that's something I'd love to see that Unisa students doing, because we've seen it with the younger kids so far.
Yeah, there was a couple of times that we've seen some of the kids building in a build challenge, and it's amazing to see what they come up with. And I actually want to see what the students do. I
Yeah.
think they might take it to the next level using a bit of coding, including with redstone. I think that might be interesting to see.
Yeah,
What do you
to
think?
see some interactive builds and stuff as well. And I didn't even think of that actually, yeah. Because we saw kids as young as like 3 years old doing
Yeah.
these build challenges. So I'd love to see what some of these unique students can do, especially with how some of them play. I'd love to see how they build. Yeah.
Okay. It looks like we are experiencing some of the students are unable to join.
Yeah, he's got about 20, 25
really-
seconds left, and otherwise we are going to be moving on. So
Yeah, I really thought that we will get these issues sorted.
yeah,
Unfortunately, it does look like they are still struggling with connection, and
yeah, it does depend on where they're based and what stage load shedding we're in. So stage 4 is
it's not a fun one.
it's not good, and they're obviously struggling with that. So
Yeah.
it's Wi-Fi droppings, people of our generation losing a lot of our resources, sadly.
Well,
But yeah, so hopefully they will get space soon. If they do manage to connect, we are teleporting them into the game so they can join
Yes.
their team. But for now, we will be moving into the game in a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
So as soon as the game screen comes up, we will be starting within 10 seconds. if they do manage to somehow connect, we will obviously teleport them back into the game so we can move on. But yeah, we swap back into the game, we can see what they're doing, and we're starting
let's see what's going to happen in this match. There is about 5 seconds and then the game will start.
I'm just wondering where
I'm
the
not
players are.
seeing any students in the game yet. Let's maybe give it a couple more seconds and see what happens.
Okay, we look like there's another issue.
It looks like they may have experienced a bit of technical difficulties on that
Yeah,
one.
same thing we were struggling with earlier. So yeah, we're sorry for any inconvenience. The servers are slowing down a bit. We're having timeouts. Load shedding is affecting our servers as well, sadly. So we're doing our best to keep that supported and keep that in mind as much as we can. But we are doing our best.
Yeah, we do want to apologize from our side, and I'm sure that we'll get this issue sorted as quick as possible so that we can stay on track with today's matches. And so far, so good. I'm actually quite happy to see how these teams have been progressing and the way that they use this strategy. I think most of them are using the collect all flags strategy.
I'm wondering, especially with the break, if they've discussed anything new that they want to try, if they're going to try something different, if they're going to stick with what works. Hopefully we see something interesting come out, and yeah.
I would like to see another block off from the opposing team, preventing the current team to start placing flags. I think that would be interesting to see something like that again.
I believe if I remember correctly, in Comic-Con, even the schools that were playing there, someone tried the blocking. I think the same team did it in 2 of their rounds. They did the blocking technique and it ended up winning them the games.
Yep.
So, yeah, it's definitely something that does work if they can think of the idea. Otherwise, they might just spread out their resources of their teammates to send collecting flags. So, we'll see what they choose to do in the end.
Definitely.
I'm hoping we're giving them some ideas as well.
Well, I'm definitely rooting for all the teams. It has been quite an interesting tournament so far, seeing all these teams going head to head, and we actually did see some of them helping the opposing team.
Yeah, like you said, how they stopped the block, the team just to let him know he was in the wrong place was something we do love to see in gaming. Is good sports who know what they're doing, who know that someone might be struggling or might not be as experienced as them, and they try help out any way they can.
Yeah.
So obviously there's limits to how they could help out, but they tried their best, block them, stop them from winning their own game, and yeah.
So now the question is, Aiden, do you think you might compete in a Minecraft tournament one day?
Yeah, if we got the opportunity, I'd definitely compete. I'd see what I can do. Get my friends together, see how we work together. We don't always work well together, my friends, because we argue and bicker a lot, but it definitely makes it funny for us in the end, so it'd be very fun to see.
Yeah, I would definitely enjoy a nice speed run challenge as well as a bit of parkour. The parkour can get difficult sometimes, especially if you have to use a special technique to be able to reach the next block. And we have seen it in a couple of previous tournaments that some of the kids and students, like for instance this tournament, these students are amazing given the amount of time they had playing on Minecraft and other games as well.
Yeah, it's also good to see that some of the smaller teams are still doing very well against the bigger teams. It's cool to see the bigger teams taking it a bit easy on the small teams. Everyone's a bit different, so it's really cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think this is definitely one of the fun tournaments I've had so far. And once again, a big thanks to Unisa and to all the students for taking the time out of their busy schedules to be able to participate. I see there is a couple of comments in the chat section that some of the students could unfortunately not make it due to exams, and we would like to see you the next time then.
Yeah, and good luck to students with the exams, especially end of year exams are some of the toughest, most nerve-wracking ones. So hopefully watching your friends or even being a part of the tournaments and stuff can help relax, keep your mind off things, give you a bit of a distraction or a break from them.
Yeah, definitely. We would, however, like to see a bit of feedback on the chat. Who's your favorite team, and what's your relationship with them? Is it your friends? Is it family? Let us know.
Yeah, that's cool. And hopefully, when we have tournaments in person, you guys will come support them there, and we can hear you screaming rather than reading you screaming. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think that might be definitely a good thing to see, especially if you got a crowd that's riling up behind a team and behind their friends or family.
Yeah.
Definitely a good thing.
At Comic Con, we had a bunch of schools there, obviously. So, hearing like groups of these children screaming for their friends, screaming their team names, so the school name, just I think we gave them prizes for the teams that supported their teams the most,
so,
and they were
yes.
screaming their heads off. So yeah, they got a Team Spirit award to surprise them for doing the utmost. They'd even bought signs, they had shirts. They were screaming for it. They'd like surrounded the table screaming for them. The other team must have been under a lot of pressure from that as well. It's obviously nerve-wracking but exciting getting that
definitely.
team spirit in. And
I think that's how I got mine. I screamed the loudest there.
Yeah, I'd love to see you screaming again. So yeah, supporting, even we end up, like you said, they're screaming, supporting. We don't pick a school, we just scream with. We just join in the screaming and just make some noise with everyone. And even if you don't have anyone you're supporting, just making noise can actually be part of the fun.
It is always a fun environment to see, for instance, especially with students and the college life, to get your friends and family and maybe your tutors as well, I guess.
Yeah. Even seeing the coaches supporting the teams at school, seeing how there's now coaches for esports in schools is a very, very cool thing.
I would like to take a look at the map again. Let's see how this map was designed. It does look interesting though.
It's a very stunning map.
It looks like this is another section of the map where there is a possibility of full damage and some of the players that could die and respawn to the spawn points.
Yes, there's a bit more risk to the parkour and everything, and PvP is going to be a lot more interesting. This is where they're going to be playing the semi-finals. So yeah, we've got the blue side, the red side as usual, opposite each other. It's a slightly wider and bigger map for them to find. They're not going to be used to where the flags are compared to the last game. They're going to have to learn all over again, see what they can do, find out, and yeah, see how they play out in an unfamiliar environment.
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say, these trees do look interesting. The way that the buildings are hanging like
from
lanterns.
the trees. Yeah, the trees are huge. It's almost like they're playing little people in a huge world. It's very well done.
Almost makes me think of, what's that movie called? Avatar at Pandora. Almost looks the same.
Yeah, the greens and everything look nice. I love the simple colours as well. You got the blacks and the greys, the whites and the brown accents. It's very well designed though. Yeah.
It is definitely a well-designed map, and once again, a big shout out to our world builders. Let's see if we have the teams ready for the next match.
Yeah, we've got them prepping up in the back, huddling together, game planning, and we're going to be starting the game in hopefully maybe 30 seconds, give or take.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then the two teams playing are Baltors and
versus the units.
Yeah, so this is one of the top brackets playing their next game. So we'll see how they do. So that means I believe that if whoever loses this match won't be eliminated just yet.
No, I think they will get a second chance.
Yeah, so everyone does get a second chance.
The players are off.
So they're still in their safe zone.
Looks like there is 2 players on each team, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so they've... I don't know.
It looks like we may experience a bit of
again. Yeah.
disconnect for
Okay, we're trying to fix this as well as we can.
issues.
Yeah, so we're doing a brief intermission, see what's going on.
Yeah.
So we've made progress getting the players into the map, but yeah, we're not keeping them in at the moment. So we're just going to see if we can restart a few things, move things around, see what we can find.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
yeah, we should
I
hopefully
am
be back
still
soon.
quite intrigued to see what these two teams are going to be doing. Who's going to be collecting the most flags?
I'm sure it's nerve-wracking for them getting in and out of the game. Though. Every time they think they've started, they go pull
That
the right
stress
back
level
out.
is
Yeah,
going sky high.
it's quite a nerve-wracking thing.
Well,
Yeah,
we are going into a small intermission and we'll definitely be back.
let's see you soon.
And we're back. Welcome back, Aiden.
Yet another brief intermission just to fix some technical difficulties we're having. So let's see if we can get these players into game now.
Yeah,
Not
it's
entirely sure what the issue was just yet.
I think we had a server disconnect, and let's see if we can get the players back in and on track on this match.
Yeah, load shedding is being a bit of an inconvenience. Hopefully soon ASCOM can fix their technical difficulties, and then we can move on.
There is a few players busy loading in, so hopefully they can get it in quick enough, and we can get this match underway.
Yeah. So I hope everyone's got their popcorn, their coffees, their iced coffees, whatever it is to drink, and get ready to watch. Because we've got 3 more left of the quarterfinals, and then we move into semis
3 more
and finals.
games.
So
I think it's going to be definitely a few games left, and I am intrigued to see what these teams have to offer.
yeah, the games have definitely got a lot more intense than it was. So we're just trying to make sure that all the players are in. It seems to be more than one disconnecting this time.
Yeah, I think
So we're trying to make sure it is fair, because we can't have just playing against 0 players. So we're just trying to fix one of the teams having a big issue.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, we have seen a couple of interesting games so far, and I think we might be ready to get the next game underway.
yeah, that's so.
What do you think about the previous games that have been played so far?
Yeah, the intensity in them definitely built up more and more as we got further on. So players got obviously more and more comfortable with the maps and the game modes compared to yesterday's modes, because obviously it's a new thing, it's a different thing. Getting even something as simple as placing the flags to catch them can always be a bit awkward. If you mess it up, you've got to destroy it again. So it's just getting used to it. It can be different, but yeah, they seem to have got the hang of it now. So they're getting a lot more comfortable. They're playing a lot better. They're a lot more aggressive. It's getting a lot faster when the matches get in. So yeah, they're doing well.
I think most of the teams have played so far, and they are getting a good look and feel of the map, seeing how the design and layout looks like and where to find the most flags. The map is going to change, however, to a better variation of it. So the map won't look exactly the same for the players to play on. I think it's definitely going to be a good one.
Yeah, the map gets more dangerous as well, which I like as well. So there's a bit more of a risk factor, thrill factor to the map. So that's always something cool to add to it. So they get a bit of a warm up in a free open space where there's not much falling or the harm that can come their way other than the other players. Now there's obviously their parkour isn't just falling to the ground, it's falling off the map entirely.
Yeah.
So they have to figure that part out as well. If there's PvPs on those bridges, that's quite a dangerous place to fight.
That is definitely going to be an interesting thing to see, especially if they are going to compete in a PvP on the bridge, close to the point where they could actually fall off, die, and then respawn into their spawn location.
Yeah, they're fighting on World's Edge just needs to be quite an interesting thing.
Definitely.
So I'd love to see how they do that. I'd love to see, as I was talking about just now, a lot more out of the previous tournaments. It's something I won't forget at Comic Con. It was a lot bigger than I even realized, because obviously helped set up and everything, and seeing what it was going to be like. It was really cool to see the crowds drawn in who weren't a part of it. So obviously we had the schools, teachers, coaches and stuff, but other kids started to get invested. Other kids were asking to play at part of the tournaments. There were parents asking if they could join the tournaments. We're like, sadly it was just for schools at that time, but we're obviously definitely planning, as I saw someone ask, to start including as many people as we can in tournaments and start getting bigger tournaments, hosting more, hosting new places. There's a lot of plans, obviously, a lot of projects we're working on.
There's also a lot of tournaments still coming up, and like you said, it's not just for kids or students. Even parents and faculty can also get involved and see how it is to play in Minecraft, and for instance for build challenges and tournaments, speedrunning maps. I think it will definitely be interesting to see some of Unisa's faculty going head to head against each other.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. I like that idea. to see, because the teachers, as we were talking about earlier, are some of the people who might not, or depending on the teachers, some of them might not be used to the idea of their kids playing games for schools. So the teachers joining in could be a very interesting thing to have. Like you said, the faculty, principals, things like that.
Well,
So
I
all of the
think we can
Unisa
even,
lecturers who might be watching, if
Yeah.
they want to start joining in on the tournaments, seeing how they do against each other.
we can also even mix it up, get the students
So
against the teachers.
lecturers, yeah.
That
In
might
time for
be
revenge for all the homework and assignments and stuff.
definitely be something to see.
Yeah, and I think they'd enjoy it as well. It's as we were talking about. It's Minecraft is easy to learn, but can be hard to master depending on what it is
Yeah.
you want to master in Minecraft.
I
And
think
unlock your
that
competitive-
if we ever do a student versus teachers, I'm rooting for the teachers.
Yeah. We will be getting into game now, so let's see. We've got players loaded, so that's always a good start. And we are off.
Let's see how these two teams go head and head and captures the most flags. It looks like both teams are, well, one of the, they're
Yeah,
going
off to
both
the
teams for
centre.
the center flag.
It's always the competition,
It
seeing
looks
if
like
they
the
can stop each
Ballotters
other.
has collected the first flag so far. Is moving up to the parkour. Seems to miss the ladder a bit there.
They do seem to both be doing the get as many as you flags can. So as
Looks
you get
like
your
the Unisa
flags,
has also collected about 2 flags, if I'm correct.
yeah. So this one seems to be another speed competition. Who can get the most first and back to their capture point. So,
Looks like they might be collecting the 3rd flag.
so red seems to be on about 4 flags already. So if they can get one more and back to the capture point before the
they
bell
definitely-
tolls, they could end this fairly quickly.
I think they are definitely going with the collection strategy.
Yeah, we see that Eunice has their final flag that they need. We don't know if they're going to get more or just finish. They seem to be ending, while the Baltos are still looking for flags that the Eunice seem to have already taken.
Let's see if the Ballotters can block the Unis from placing those flags and potentially taking the victory.
Yeah, the Baltos do see that Eunice is going up again, they're moving up, so they do believe that hopefully they've seen that red is about to finish. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Wow,
Eunice
that was quite
has won,
impressive.
yeah. Eunice
the Unis
wins.
just won.
So yeah, sadly there the Baltos have lost that round. Eunice did win. The Baltos did see at the end there that Eunice had moved up.
Yeah.
So they saw, okay, cool, they're going to the next floor. I don't know if they picked up that they were done. So
It was quite an impressive time, even with the technical difficulties we've been having. I think the time is 1 minute and 50 seconds.
yeah, just under 2 minutes and they finished. They
That
knew
was
exactly
quite
which
impressive.
flags they wanted and how to get to them. So yeah,
Yeah,
people are definitely learning. It's not going to last long as their next round now. Eunice will be in a new map. So we'll see how they play in an unfamiliar map, but they've been doing well so far. So they've now moved on to the new map to play against Turmoil. So before we do go to the semi-finals, I believe we have another
2 more matches.
yeah. So yeah, 2 more matches from the lower down bracket. So that was the upper bracket we just watched. Yeah, so we'll see the bracket up here now.
Yeah, let's quickly take a look and see which are the 2 teams. Well, actually 4 teams competing next. So it looks like we've got the RBM Pillagers versus the Fire Tigers in the bottom bracket.
We're just trying to make sure that bracket updates correctly. But yeah, so semi-finals will be moving to a new map. So players will be unfamiliar. They won't be able to run straight to the flags where they know they are and how to get them. They're going to have to learn again. So those games might be a bit slower than the first ones were. And
It
yeah,
does look like the next match will be interesting. We are in the bottom bracket at the moment,
which
and
means
let's see if we can get another team back into the winning bracket, I guess.
yeah. So the players that we're going to be watching now have been fighting at the bottom, but can, like we've mentioned a few times, still win the tournament. the losing players will be eliminated and out the tournament for today, sadly.
I have to say, it did look like there is some of the students are struggling with connection issues and so on. We haven't had a full team of a full V4 yet.
Yeah.
I hope we do get to see that before the tournament ends.
Yeah, hopefully with the times having moved up now, load shedding might be different, so we will see whose teams have updated, who's changed. We might lose some players, we might gain some players, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think we are just waiting for a few players to get into the next game, and so far I'm happy to see that these students have actually been doing really good, seeing as that they don't normally play that much games.
Yeah, they're doing very well. They learn very quickly as well. So I guess in university you've got to be able to learn quickly. You don't have much time to learn, so it's not something they're too unfamiliar with, at least. And I see something I was also wondering earlier, is something one of the commenters asked now, is whether it was Unus or Eunice. We've been told it's pronounced Eunice. I also thought it was Unus, meaning one in Latin. I believe Unus is with two N's. I'm not entirely sure. But yes, so it is Eunice, as we've been told.
But we do like to say good thanks for all the viewers and all the chats that have been coming in. Please do keep it up. We do enjoy reading your comments.
It's fun engaging with people viewing, people using it, and we try to read it wherever we can while we're not talking about the matches currently
Definitely.
coming up. So
what do you think we still have a couple of games to go, so what do you think is going to happen in these last couple of games?
Yeah, so as we said, the games have been going fast. Hello, Squid. The games have been going fast as the players are getting used to the map. So I think in the semi-finals and the finals, they will slow down a bit as they learn the new map, but easily again in the finals, once they get more comfortable with it, start speeding up again.
It looks like we're taking a look at a bunch of creatures on the new Unisa map.
Yeah.
It is quite interesting to see a bunch of jellyfish, I think.
Squid, the squid, yeah, floating around in the water.
It is a beautiful layout of the land, and we even have a bit of animals that are walking around.
It feels very fantasy, and the fact that the trees are even built in as well is amazing, because those aren't obviously naturally generated Minecraft trees, as any player would know. They've got stunning bridges. That was awesome. They've got the houses hanging from the trees. They've got the main base. We've got teleporters around the map, so it works for the spectators too, so spectators can get around the map quickly.
Yeah, definitely being able to see this beautiful map in action is a pleasure.
It's definitely something that wouldn't take me a week maybe to finish if I had the patience with it. It is done very well. It looks very natural as well. It flows naturally. It's professional. It's definitely something on a professional level that someone's made, and that's the type of thing we were talking about earlier, is how there are people selling these builds and creations for other people to download into their games.
Definitely a career choice for those of you who do enjoy Minecraft.
Especially on the creative side. So there are websites where people can go download these resources. You can just load them into your game wherever you want, obviously using multiple programs, but then you can have your builds in Minecraft, in your worlds, add a few builds of other people's, and just it's a cool community thing.
Yeah.
Bringing each other's creations together.
I do want to give a special shout out to Ilmarie for enjoying the stream and for being here with us today. And thanks for the stunning map.
Yeah.
We do enjoy your comments, and let's take a look at the next game starting now in I think a few seconds.
Yeah, here we go. We've got 10 seconds till we get open. Make it 5.
Starting now in about 2 seconds, and the teams are off.
Oof.
It does look like
Yeah,
there is a bit of a latency on
They
it.
had a bit of rubber banding, but they're going straight for the Sims flag, nothing different.
There's a bit of PvP action going on there.
Players not realizing there's a bit of a job. Got some accidental breaks in
Flag
the
is still
dismount, but they fight. Oh, there we
looks
go.
like he got a flag.
That was a bit of a brawl. They all even stopped to see what was happening with the flag, but they've got it.
I see most of the teams are going with the same strategy.
So we've got the RGN Pillagers on raid team, and they've got one flag at the moment. We've got people on each other's tails here fighting over the flags, which is exactly what we want to see. And we've got Fire Tigers on blue.
Yeah, I see one of the Fire Tigers is trying to
Get rid of the Pillagers.
steal the flags.
Yeah, this is something we haven't seen yet, which is interesting. So we're not sure what the
A bit
hell.
of PvP action.
Yeah. Okay, but they haven't even got the flag yet. They're trying to
I think he's trying
stop
to
them
get
from
out.
getting it.
Might
Yeah.
be a bit low on health.
So yeah, they've run away, but they're just going in for the chase.
It
Not
looks like
giving
the
him
Fire
up.
Tigers are placing flags. I think about 3, if I'm correct.
Yeah. So while Fire Tigers is distracting,
It,
while they were distracting the red team, the Fire
What?
Tigers just won the game.
that was
So
a
even while we
quick-
weren't looking, that was 120. We're getting faster and faster. Please. I thought this one would be slowed down by the PvP a bit. You think it would have slowed down the game a little bit, but there was a part of the plan by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like the Fire Tigers have been trying to get back, and they are doing quite a good job at doing it.
Yeah. Something I see they also commented from Hill Maria is she was saying I'd noticed the Unis Arnis. So for those who don't know, and it's why they were discussing Unis versus Unis, is Unis Arnis was a channel I believe it meant 1 year. So two YouTubers got together to create a channel that they'd post a video on every single day for 365 days.
Interesting.
You had that year to watch it, and at the end of their countdown, they would put a countdown at the end of every video of how much time was left of the year. And at the end of the year, they took every video down, they took the channel down, all their merch was taken down. So it was, I believe their goal was enjoying things while they're there. It's about enjoying the moments that are in front of you while they're there instead of
Yeah,
missing out on them.
living in the moment.
Yeah, and it did very well. The channel was beautiful. They had fans. They still go on. They had, I think the other day was their 2-year anniversary for when it had ended or for when they created it. And it was a very clever idea. So I love that our fans are talking about that as well.
Yeah,
So-
that is quite interesting to hear that story, and it is definitely an inspiration to most of the people, and especially me, because I do tend to get lost in time, and I'm not always in the moment, if you can say it like that.
Yeah, and that's what the channel taught you about is if you do miss out, you can't always get those opportunities back.
Yeah,
It was very for something that was meant to be very silly and funny. It got very emotional as well.
I
Okay,
can
so it
believe
was-
that.
It was very well done. So it was Markiplier and Crank Gameplays were the two YouTubers that did it.
Okay.
It was very interesting. So for anyone who is interested in that, if it sounds interesting to you, you can try look up what's left of it. There are videos that have been recorded, which technically was against what they'd asked, but there were amazing moments shared, especially between the fans. And there are still fans who are getting the channel tattooed on them and everything. So it was a big influence for a lot of people.
I think there's definitely some of the viewers that missed it.
Yeah, and it's sad, but it was an amazing thing.
Well, it looks like some of our team. We're waiting on one player at the moment, and the next game will be the Diomi Amazons versus the Bellator.
Bellator's. So the Dahonis again, as we've said, were the ones disconnecting yesterday, but making a huge comeback today, showing us that they are here to play and they are doing well. And they are playing their last match on this stage before we move to semi-finals with a new map, new feel, new environment entirely.
Yeah, definitely. I am definitely happy to see that these two teams will be going 8-8, and there is no favorite for me, but I'm sure may the best team get back up.
Yeah, so as I said, my prediction, I could be wrong, is that the game's going to go a little slower than the other ones had been going because they're going to have to look around the map. I have a feeling they're going to fall off a few times by accident. Find the flags, see where everything's set out, so something they haven't prepped for yet. So it's going to be an interesting one to see. And then whoever does well, and they're obviously moving to the finals, can then hopefully remember what they've done in the previous game with the map and use that to their advantage.
Yeah, there is definitely some of the previous games that have been played went quite well, seeing as there was some technical difficulties for the students that could unfortunately not be able to join in. I do believe that the games we have played so far went quite well, and I am excited to see where this may lead. I don't know who's going to be heading to the semi-finals and finals, to be honest, but
Yeah, so far all teams are looking evenly well rounded, someone dropping, someone going up again. So nothing's looking obvious, which is something we love because it could always be a surprise in the end. We could have someone from the bottom bracket, an underdog, come up, or we could have the person who's been carrying from the beginning win. So you never know what's happening with these double brackets, which is very cool.
yeah, definitely. I do have to say that all these teams have been doing exceptionally well, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as we are.
Yeah,
And I see the chat is going crazy.
it's really cool to see how the students are playing and everything. And it's the one sad thing we're talking about, how they're in remote locations, is we don't get to see how the team celebrates whoever wins. It was something I loved seeing at Comic-Con, was the winning team. We had one kid crying, we had others jumping up and down celebrating, we had the audience going wild.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for more live events where that stuff's going to happen. So at the moment I'm just picturing whichever team wins in their bedrooms, obviously getting up, celebrating, dancing on the beds. It's
Getting
cool.
to enjoy victory.
Yeah, we get the viewers here as well celebrating from wherever they are at home. Maybe they're in the same homes, we don't even know actually. So yeah, I'm hoping there are people with the players just standing right behind them at their desk during one.
Yeah. We are currently just waiting for one more player, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
And let's see what will happen in this last game in the quarterfinals.
As we said, that each player or each team does have 3 minutes to connect all players. If they are struggling, we do move on, sadly. So yeah, we have someone asking why one screen is usually smaller than the other one when with the spectating. It's kind of just to put a bit of focus on one at a time.
Yeah, so I believe it's definitely to focus on the team that has been collecting the most flags, and if we do see that the opposing team on the smaller screen is doing exceptionally well, we will swap over to them to be able to get a better look at what they're doing at the moment.
Yeah, so it's almost a form of a spotlight camera. So it's
Yeah.
so that you can see both at the same time, but see where most of the action is happening, who's doing the best. We keep some teams or some moments in a spotlight almost to draw attention.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's that.
I think
We've
this
got
is
just under a minute now for the last teammate to connect. We've got about 30 seconds, so if they don't connect, we will be starting. And just with everyone else, if they do connect in time, we teleport them in.
We have had a couple of matches where there was only one player in a team, and they have won.
Yeah,
That
so
is impressive to see.
yeah, and it was actually the homies that had the single player. So it's them playing now, so we're going to see if they can keep pushing through, if they can win this move up again. Obviously, they won the first game as a solo player, but lost the next as they got ganged up on. So we'll see this round if they can push through the gang up or if they can win again. So we have begun.
The gates are open and the players are progressing. Let's see who will go for that middle flag first. Does look like the Bellators definitely see the flag. Let's see if he'll grab it. Looks like the Diomi Amazons has stolen the flag right underneath them.
As usual, the players go straight to the bottom because it's where most of the flags seem to be gathered and where they're a bit easier to get. And we're going for all the pillar flags first. So most players do seem to go for the flags right by the pillars, get at least 5, run up, capture the flags, end the game as quick as possible. So far we've had a theme of just beating previous best times of game completion. So the last one we said was what, like 140?
Looks like there is a bit of PvP action.
Yeah,
Trying
so
to
we
see
got
who can grab that flag first.
Yeah, and we got the Tigers stealing it from the homie. We saw the homie looking quite sadly at the ground after the flag taken from them. So we've got a lot of fights for the flags in this round. Yeah,
Aren't happy about them taking the flag, so they're battling it out.
We got a lot of slowly walking to see who can get the first punch in. Obviously, players who have played Minecraft know that if you can get the first hit in at the right time, at the right distance, you can get the first bit of damage, as we see is happening here. We've got them crouched as a technique, keeping an enemy at bay.
It does look
And
like the
they've pushed them off.
Amazons is running away. Might be low on health. Let's see if they can grab that flag.
Yeah, so my mistake earlier, I said the Tigers, that's the Baltors that are playing blue team. They're putting a lot of pressure at the moment on the homie Amazons. We are seeing 3 of the players down here fighting, so we're wondering if another player is somewhere capturing flags. We're hoping... Oh yes, the Dahomey is just a single, so they're busy
Does
putting
look
pressure,
like-
the Baltors, to keep them from capturing.
Yeah.
So this is what they did struggle with last game, and the reason they moved to the lower bracket was
Maybe
because of
play
this
for the
issue.
Time, I guess.
Yeah. Do we
Does
know
look
if
like
any
that
captures have been made
Dahomey-
yet? Yeah, they do have flags. I just don't think enough so far. So yeah, there's 0 captures on either side at the moment. Dahomey is looking
like
for
the
flags, but they
Dahomey
definitely don't
Amazons
have 5 yet, from what I
Is
understand.
going to plant that
Oh no,
flag, but
they're
in
on
the
blue.
wrong
They're not realizing.
side. It's 2 flags, if I'm correct.
2 so far. I don't know if they've realized, but they are scoring for the Baltors. I don't know if they've realized it yet.
It looks
There's
like
not much they can
yeah.
do to undo it, sadly.
the Dahomey Amazons has scored on the wrong side of the map, putting the Bellators 2-0 ahead.
Now we
And it
wonder.
looks like Bellators have collected another flag.
Yeah, so the Baltors are still at the bottom, moving around. They've given up on the fighting for a bit, taking a breather. But so far, the Baltors have 3 points, and it was
We are-
none of their own captures so far, sadly.
It looks like we are a couple of minutes into this game. It does look like the Dahomey Amazon is struggling a bit, being only 1 player.
Yeah, they're obviously a bit outnumbered, and the enemy's taking advantage of that. So they're seeing what flags they can find where they don't have competition. So hopefully they can see what they can find. Hopefully they realize where their capture point is. We've got another fight starting out over this flag. I believe this is between friends.
Does look
No.
like the
But yeah, there we go. We're having a lot of confusion. The Baltors nearly went to the Dahomey side, so they're scoring for each other this game. But they have realized their mistake. They're going to their own side. I
that
understand.
that definitely puts the Bellators
Yeah.
in a massive lead.
So 3-0 at the moment. They're placing a lot. Yeah, okay. Baltors just placed all flags. They've gone, I believe, beyond 5. So sadly, Dahomey helped them a bit there. But yeah, so Dahomey is eliminated for here.
Unfortunately, yes.
It is something we've seen a bit now. I understand in the pressure of playing, especially as a lone player,
Yeah.
where you don't realize the color you're scoring on. You get disoriented. You think you're coming back from where you spawned, so you're capturing on the wrong side. So it does seem to be a common thing that's happening.
Well, we do like to say a massive congrats to the Dahomey Amazons for being only 1 player. That is quite impressive, and you have definitely given a lot of teams a run for their money.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got more people in chat about Rage Expo. Actually, we definitely will be having Minecraft tournament at Rage. So yeah, we will be there for the full 3 days, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And yeah, one of those days we will be having Minecraft tournament. So yeah, feel free to support, come watch.
And we hope to see you there at Rage with
Yeah.
us.
You'll see how much more interesting it is. Like, if this is good, you can imagine with a screaming crowd behind you how awesome that is. Yeah.
I see we do have a question for Comic-Con Cape Town next year. I'm not entirely sure if we will be at Comic-Con in Cape Town. That is still a bit far ahead for us,
Yeah.
to be honest. But we will definitely try to be at Comic-Con again next year.
Yeah, we did enjoy Comic Con. We had, as I was saying earlier, we had a lot of people who did enjoy it. We had
Yes.
people who we didn't know at all, who weren't part of the schools, coming from the upper expos, coming down to our section, and yeah, we were quite popular there actually. We had a
Yeah.
lot of people sporting, wanting to join in, wondering what was going on, taking photos, videos, and it was cool to see the crowd that they brought in.
It was definitely a fun experience to have, especially having all the different schools they coming together to compete in a Minecraft tournament at Comic Con, and not just for the tournament but for enjoying Comic Con itself. There was a lot to see and much to do. It was interesting seeing some of the characters that dressed up for Comic Con.
Yeah, some of the cosplays were good there. I think I even saw a Steve from Minecraft when it turned one of their old cardboard boxes into a head, so they were walking around like that, which was really cool.
If I'm correct, there was a small kid wearing a creeper costume from Minecraft.
That's
That
amazing.
did look quite interesting.
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I'd love to see something like that. I love, and I have a very good feeling a lot of the time that when it's the kids in costume, it's their gamer or nerdy parents who are dressing them up, as I've seen often, where the parents are very excited to put their kids in like weird, silly costumes or crazy things, or even scary things sometimes.
Yeah.
And I just love to see other parents involve their kids in it and how they're starting them young into the gaming culture.
It was definitely a fun opportunity, and it was interesting to be there, seeing all the teams playing, all the coaches from schools being there, even a couple of strangers that competed in a couple of boat challenges, kids and parents even competing to see if they could stand a chance to win a prize.
Yeah, so in the last day of Comic Con we had free play, I believe. So anyone
Yeah.
could come play. We were giving out some small prizes, everything. You could just join in, no restrictions really, no anything like that. Just enjoying your last day of Comic Con.
I do hope that we might see some Unisa staff and students at Rage this year.
And seeing how we do it in person versus remote locations, seeing the scales we like to go to, and yeah, it's a very cool thing.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a massive event, especially for a lot of gamers. There is a bunch of other things that will also be displayed, like tech and new games coming out, and obviously for us being there to host another Minecraft tournament. I
Yeah.
think it will definitely be fun seeing some of the Unisa staff and students there.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I don't know much about I haven't been to Rage for maybe 3 or 4 years, sadly. So I haven't gone for quite a while. And then, yeah, obviously COVID didn't help. Then
Yeah.
the few after COVID I missed because of studies or work possibly, or I wasn't here. So I'm excited to see how it's changed over the years and how they're doing it. So obviously we have a new centre now. Used to always be in the Dome, now we're moving to Gallagher.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see how they do it, what's going to look different, what's going to be like. I hope it's air conditioned inside because it's very hot lately. So
Well, it's going to be my first time being at Rage,
ever,
so I'm quite excited.
your first time ever.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna dress up though. I might wear my RGB t-shirt.
Cosplaying something. Yeah, I don't know how they do the cosplay in this heat. It's hot and it's sweaty in those suits, but it's the dedication is brilliant, especially the people who do their homemade cosplays.
Yeah. Well, I would like to definitely see a Unisa faculty dressed as a Minecraft character.
I wonder what they do. Zombie, witch, something weird like that, or if they go normal like Steve or Alex. Yeah, that'll be very cool to see. But I hope they do participate in the culture of the dress up, or even some people who don't have much to dress up and go simple, where they wear like their gamer socks or their nerdy little Minecraft socks and stuff, or even just a hat. So
It is going to be a massive event and a fun one, and we would really like to see some of Unisa's faculty and students there with us. I believe Rage is the 9th of December 2022.
yeah, and 9 to 11, I think. So yeah, they can come meet us in person. They're beautiful casters, so they can come say hi to us, take some photos of us if they want, as if we're celebrities. And yeah, they'll change up things for us. But
So-
we are going into game.
Yeah. Let's see what the
which
next game
teams are
has in
playing?
store. We are in the semi-finals, if I'm
So
correct.
this will be the new map, and you guys will see.
And it looks like there is a small issue happening.
We've got the gates struggling there for red side for Eunice. But yeah, we've got Eunice versus Turmoil. So
I
yeah,
believe
as you
we
can see, you
are
can already
going
see the falling
to
maps.
have a rematch because one of the gates didn't open correctly.
Yeah, so we will be just restarting that round as one of the gates. We had malfunction, we had technical difficulty within Minecraft. We're just going to rehost that. So we just give players a fair opportunity. As we saw, Eunice was stuck in their pens trying to break out, which they
Yeah.
obviously couldn't do. So they were trying desperately to jump, break, everything to get out. But yeah, so we'll see how they fight there. We already saw within maybe the 10-second clip that players were falling off the map.
Yeah.
So obviously running straight in, falling, learning. So it's awesome.
I think it's definitely going to be a learning curve on this new variation of the same map that we're playing. There is a bit of more obstacles and disadvantages, especially for teams that are competing in PvP, that you might get punched off of the map. And yeah, let's see. I'm definitely hoping to see some of that PvP action on this one.
Yeah, I'd love to see. It's going to be a lot more dangerous as well than the last one. It's not just some gentle slaps to the face. It's going to be a lot of falling off. And yeah, I see we've also got comments from Unisa talking about they've obviously got their robotics programs there, which sounds awesome. I know my brother's doing engineering, so he'd love things like that. My friends love the robotics sides. So they might be at Rage for the robotics competition for Unisa staff. So we do hope to see them there. So that's really cool. We sadly won't be at Comic Con Cape Town. So there's still time for possibility to be there. So far, it's just unsure.
Yeah.
But yes, so we do hope we see the Unisa staff there. I didn't know there was a robotics competition. I didn't know they did that.
I haven't seen one of those robotics competition yet, so I think I might go and say hello to them.
Yeah, I know, that's awesome. The last Rage I went to, I don't think they did things like that. So it shows how long ago I was there. So I didn't know we did that here in South Africa. I'd love to see robots fighting. I'm assuming it's fairly
It's definitely
safe.
something new for me, so
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna maybe take some time and go and visit them.
I'm wondering if they do just simple robots bashing into each other, if there's rules, if it's push out a ring, or if they've got little weapons to kind of break the other ones. I've seen very...
Maybe we can get
Different
some
variants.
feedback from chat on what those events are
Yeah.
like.
And how it is watching them. Obviously, what you win, I'm assuming you can win cool upgrades for your bots and stuff. That sounds really cool. I've seen a lot of videos and stuff on those, but never in person. I
Maybe
really
get
didn't know
a
we did.
upgrade kit.
Yeah, imagine upgrading your robots. That's awesome. But we definitely hope we see you there. So
Yeah, for
Yeah.
those of the Unisa staff being at Rage, please do come say hi. We would love to have you there with us.
yeah, we've got a lot of friendly, welcoming staff members who will definitely say hi. We'll obviously have a lot of kids there as well, and yeah, a lot of people just having fun. I remember, not entirely sure yet if it's finalized for Rage, but for Comic Con we also had, for people who wanted to learn and anyone who might be interested, there was a section with us teaching people about D&D, which was really cool, and Magic cards, all other old school tabletop games instead of just the digital stuff. And the person who hosted that was very good at his job. He brought in so many crowds. There were even points where students who were taking breaks from the tournaments and our tournament going there to just, even if it's just watch what this guy was doing.
Yeah,
He
just
was
have a bit of fun with them.
Yeah, the dungeon master host. He was brilliant. So if we could get him again, he
It's always
draws
fun
in
to
everyone.
have a good character for a dungeon master, and I think we had a wizard for Comic Con, which was really insane.
Yeah, and then I think he even dressed as a samurai one of the other days as well with his sword. So yeah, but we will be getting into our match now. So let's see if we can get the gates open at the same time this time.
Let's take a look at what these two teams are going to be doing on the new variation of the map, which has, as we said, a bunch of gaps in between where players could potentially fall off.
Yeah. So this is our first semi-final match with Eunice versus Turmoil.
Turmoil has collected 2 flags already,
Ah.
with Eunice with 1, if I'm correct.
So yeah, as we can see around, players are definitely slowing down to look for where flags are, but it's It's a lot more treacherous to wander around freely.
It does look like some of the players are getting stuck, which looks like they are breaking a block to set them free. Turmoil has grabbed a flag and is placing it. It's got 2, 3.
There's 3 already for Blue, and I was obviously wrong about them slowing down for these matches, so they are looking around, but they are 3-1. So Unis with 1 and Turmoil on Blue for 3. But yeah, they're speeding through it faster than I thought they would. So obviously, unfamiliar location doesn't matter to them.
Does look like Eunice has found another flag.
In the little library
There
section.
is a chest. Let's see what he takes out of that chest.
So yeah, we've got
So
we've got
in
some
this
drawers out.
variation of the map, there's a lot of flying around. So if you see a observer in a black suit flying past you, it's him trying to find his team to track them and see where they're going.
They're like our floating cameras.
It looks like Turmoil has 4.
Here comes their final. They're considering it.
It
There we
looks
go.
like Turmoil took the
Turmoil
win.
has taken the win for the first semi-finals match.
That was
So yeah, that was a lot faster than I thought it was going to be.
definitely a quick one, that. Especially on the new map, which is new to most of the students. I think they did exceptionally well.
Yeah, they definitely finished a lot faster than I thought it would do. Yeah, we had Blue Turmoil winning, and then I believe Unis got 2 flags, so they captured 2 before they lost, obviously.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's our first semi-finals gone. So
I do believe that some of the students and players did fall off of the map,
yes,
which was quite interesting to see.
Yeah,
Especially
so
there has
definitely-
been a couple of PvP sections, but I did see that some of the players did get stuck when they fell off.
yeah, so that it definitely slows them down, which is the point of the fighting on the edge, to kind of bring your team to some sort of advantage. And yeah, so moving into our second semi-finals as well soon.
Yeah, we're down to the bottom bracket with the Fire Tigers and Pelleters.
Yeah,
If
so
I'm correct.
Beltors, yeah. And if I understand correctly from our previous match, one of the teams hadn't lost yet.
It looks
Yeah, so
Turmoil
Turmoil.
is still on a winning streak.
Yeah, not a single loss yet. So they're doing very well. They need to still, even with doing as well as they are, remember that they can still lose, even to someone in the bottom bracket. That it's not set in stone yet that they've won. But yes, we do have ways of playing with the fact that everyone does get 2 chances. So they won't be eliminated immediately,
No.
if I understand, if they do lose their next match. So even they will still keep their lead, and there will be a 15th match, like a final almost,
Yes.
if they do lose. So they've almost got another life in their back pocket still, their extra life. They're 1 up,
They can
So-
still make a comeback.
yeah, or carry on with their streak at the moment for Turmoil.
What do you think is going to happen with the next bottom bracket in the semi-final?
Yeah, I'm interested to see how they do for the Tigers versus.
Let's quickly take a
Alright.
look at the bottom bracket, which is the Fire Tigers versus the Pelleters. Do you
Yeah, so the
think
belt.
they're gonna make it?
Yeah, so obviously one team will be moving through, and the winner will be facing
Unis.
after that, and then from there on, whoever wins there goes to the finals. So whoever wins then that match will go fighting Turmoil. Obviously, if Turmoil loses that, they get 1 more chance. It will be like a second final, as I said, because they currently have both lives technically putting it. So this is part of our double bracket, double elimination type thing. It gives everyone 2 chances, even if you're winning way ahead. You don't think, cool, I made it to the finals, now's my first loss, I'm out. You still got your other life. And for people who lost at the beginning, they got their second life. So it's just to keep things fair for everyone.
Definitely. We are looking forward to seeing what is going to happen between these two teams. We are in the bottom bracket for the next two games. The first one will be Fire Tigers versus the Bellators, and whoever wins that will go through and face Eunice.
Yeah. So we've got two more semi-final matches before the finals, and then we see what happens from there. It could be one more match after that for the tournament, or two, depending on how it goes, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see who plays who, and keen to see who Turmoil is going to be playing. So Turmoil is going to get a bit of a break now to stretch their legs, relax, considering how well they're doing, be happy with their victories so far. And yeah, they're going to see who they're fighting in. So they're going to obviously just watch the matches, they can watch the streams, see how the other teams are playing, see how the teams strategize, and strategize their own things based on the other team's play styles.
Definitely. I have to say that all these teams have done exceptionally well, especially some of them that have been missing a bunch of players. All of you guys actually has been doing really well.
Yeah, even missing plays, it didn't let it slow you down. A lot of you, more than once, have proven yourselves that even as one person, you can do a lot, which is actually really cool to see. Obviously, as gamers, we love to see that. We love to see someone who can carry through, push through, who doesn't give up when they're outnumbered or alone, clutching for their team. And I hope the teammates who are struggling to connect are still supporting at the least. They've got the stream on the side or something, watching, seeing how well their teammates doing, cheering them on, maybe even in the same room. That'd be interesting. And I hope you guys are cheering each other on.
Yeah, I see we do have the next team experiencing a bit of technical difficulties.
Yeah, so I think we're just trying to get a few of the players in. We just need one more. They've obviously got their 3-minute timer, so hopefully we can get them in before that. Otherwise, we will be moving on.
And you believe that player is struggling with his or her laptop?
So it's not even connection issues this time, it's more hardware. So hopefully our technical assistants on the side there, talking to them through Discord, can help with something, figure out what it is causing the issues, get them back into game as soon as possible. Obviously, hardware failures are not the player's fault or anything, so we are trying to see what we can do to help. So far, no luck as of yet.
Yeah, unfortunately. What do you think will happen in this next match? Or even the finals?
I don't know. Turmoil is doing very well, so it all obviously depends who fights in the finals, but whoever takes on Turmoil will have to beat Turmoil twice. So that is their challenge. Turmoil has made themselves the final boss, which is cool. That's something they can be very proud of. I'd be proud of that.
Yeah.
So we hope their fans are proud of them as well, because they haven't lost a single life so far. They've been playing excellently, time-wise, strategy-wise, team-wise. They're doing well.
I do see that Turmoil hasn't lost a single game.
No.
That is impressive.
Yeah, that's definitely something. There's obviously not a single other team who's done that so far. So, like I said, final boss.
I think that team has been practicing a lot last night.
So yeah, I hope they're celebrating accordingly at the moment, but they can't finish their celebrations just yet. But they get a little break now to eat, get their minds together, maybe watch, like I said, the stream, see the players' play style, see where things are on the map, get some sort of understanding of what to do next, and then make their move from there.
Yeah, definitely. I see we do have a bit of feedback from chat.
Yeah, that's just some hype.
Let us
Had
give
them-
courage to Fire Tigers and Bellators.
Yeah, I know.
The Fire Tigers has done exceptionally well. They did lose, I think, 2 games, if I'm correct. One game.
Yeah.
They still can make a comeback.
So yeah, it's like we said, something we love about these types of matchups and these types of brackets is that the team who lost first could still win the tournament, and like we said, we've seen it before, and it's such an underdog moment for them.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool thing to see. And yeah, so from what we've seen as well, based on the bracket, both of these teams playing each other now in the next match,
Yes.
they've both lost to Eunice. But whoever wins this match, whoever comes through to the outcome, will have their rematch with Unis, and then we move from there. So it's a bit of a feisty one.
I
It
am
can be a
looking
story of
forward to
revenge, which is
seeing-
cool.
I'm definitely looking forward to seeing these last few games taking place.
Yeah,
If
it's getting almost personal at
Turmoil's
this point.
been undefeated. Let's see who will
Yeah.
be able to head back up to the semi-final top bracket.
Yeah, so it's Turmoil has fought Unis and will possibly be fighting them again.
So we are getting ready to take a look at the next game taking place. Let's see, there's about 5 seconds for the game to start against Fire Tigers versus the Bellators. And they're off.
Straight to a sprinting round, usually straight for the centre flag. Oh, not this time. We've got players splitting up, one going left, one going straight. We've got players that they seem to know exactly where they're going,
I think
roaming.
that
We've
some
got
of
one in the
these
library.
teams have memorized where the flags are.
Yeah, some people are paying very close attention, which is good. We'd like to see that.
It looks like the Fire Tigers does have
Oh.
one of the players accidentally fell off. I'm sure he'll get teleported back to where he
Yeah.
needs to be. I do see some of the Bellators are stuck underneath.
They're trying to parkour their way up. They're struggling a little bit, but yes. So, they're clever. Just jump off the map, spawn them up
Fire
back up.
Tigers are placing flags.
Yeah. So while the other team's struggling just to get back up, we've got a bit of brawl here. We've got Fire Tigers taking players off the map.
Fire Tigers
Taking
has
advantage
two
of the
flags. They are
2-0, yeah.
ahead, if I'm
2-0.
correct.
So Fire Tigers are definitely taking advantage of the map and how they can slow their opponents down with that. We've got the blue team for Battle Tours
There is
struggling
a-
a bit in the center there, but yeah, Fire Tigers are being very aggressive. This one player especially.
It does look like
They are.
the Fire Tigers are PvPing against the opposing
Yeah,
team,
we've-
hitting them off the map.
We've got the one player literally camping their spawn, making sure that they stay off the map as long as they can so they can't capture flags. So this is the type of strategy we're wanting to see. And we've got, there it goes again, so we've also got the one player is set to keep the Baltors in check, and the other player is going for flags.
It does
So,
look like the Bellators has a flag.
so Baltors are
I
lagging a
hope he's
little bit.
not going to place it in the wrong
They're going
side.
for the wrong side. Oh no. Yeah, so we've got another point to the Fire Tigers as the Baltors are doing the wrong side again. So new map, same difficulties with seeing their colours. They're obviously not paying too much attention there as they're being chased down by their enemy. And Fire Tigers got their 5th flag.
That
Oh,
was quite
so the
quick.
Baltors helped them in the end though. So the Baltors obviously helped the Fire Tigers finish the game there quickly. So we
What
had
do you
them
think-
placing on the same thing.
What do you think happened in that game? The
No.
Fire Tigers were 2 ahead, and then all of a sudden, they won the game.
Yeah, we had the Baltors obviously struggling a bit with latency there, and we had the Fire Tiger keeping them off the map, which was very clever. And in all the panic, I don't think they realized where they were and went to the opponent's side and captured for them. So
Unfortunately,
a little nice assist there. But they played well regardless. They were doing the parkour very well. They just struggled a bit with the latency, sadly.
it does look like the next game in the lower bracket is going to be Fire Tigers versus Units.
Yeah,
Who do you
so
think might take that game?
so Eunice won the previous game against the Fire Tigers.
Correct.
So this is their time for revenge. They can take back the victory they wanted, or they will lose a second time, bringing Eunice to fight Turmoil. Turmoil was the ones who beat Eunice. So no matter what, the last, or unless, it could go a lot of ways. So if Fire Tigers win, then it's a Turmoil versus Fire Tigers. Fire Tigers going to have to beat Turmoil twice, obviously. If the Fire Tigers lose, it's going to be like a redemption match, like revenge. And so then regardless, both teams are going to have to beat Turmoil twice.
It does look like Turmoil is a highly competitive team going for the flags and the wins, one after the other. Let's see, whoever wins this game will be able to face Turmoil.
Yeah, I love the almost little personal things that are happening between the teams. They're getting, some of the teams are going for revenge, some of the teams are fighting for the second time. It's not something that always happens. It's obviously all based on chance on who gets placed against who. But yeah, it's going to be cool. So we'd love to see it.
I think that all of the teams might be fairly equal, seeing as there is still some of the students struggling to connect or having technical difficulties. So we'll take a look and see if the teams will be evenly matched in the final.
Yeah, hopefully so, because then it will make things a lot more interesting as well. Even though, as we've been proven, that outnumbered doesn't necessarily mean outgunned, so a lot of the outnumbered teams have been doing very well. It still amazes me those first two games.
It looks like the Turmoil is patiently waiting for their game to start and maybe try and grab the victory.
Yeah, Turmoil's just waiting for their final, just to take the trophy home, take the tournament. But yeah, we're going to first see if they do win. But yeah, before we even get to the next match,
I think after this match, just before the final match, we'll go into a small
intermission.
Yeah, a quick intermission with a video from Dr. Denzel Chetty.
Yeah, so just before the next match, we're going to have that. Yeah. Otherwise, how do you think the tournament's been going so far?
So far, the tournament has been actually going really good. I am definitely excited to see what's going to happen in the last 2 or maybe 3 games, depending on who wins. But for all the teams that have been competing, and for those who have unfortunately not made it into the finals or semi-finals, we do like to give you a big round of applause from RGB and from Unisa's staff. You did exceptionally well. We are taking a look at going into the next game with Unisa versus the Fire Tigers. Let's see who is going to take this next match.
Let's see if the Fire Tigers can get revenge on Unisa, or if Unisa are going to beat them for a second time. So this one could be a bit of a personal one, but we're moving on to see outcome of that.
And we're in. Let's see who is going to take this win. The gates are opening soon, and they're off. Let's see.
Got Fire Tigers on blue and Unisa on red as usual.
It looks like they are going straight for all the flags. I don't see any PvP action. The Fire Tigers have 2 flags already, and I believe Unisa has 1, if I'm correct.
Yeah, we've already got Unisa planting flags, so Unisa is at 1 already. We have a little bit of stuff happening in the center there of the map.
It looks like that Unisa is on 1 with the Fire Tigers having 2 flags on them.
Yeah.
Let's see if they can get those flags to the correct placing point.
Until they put it on their own placing points, obviously those flags aren't going to do anything just yet. So you could have 5, you could have 7 flags, or 6 max, I bet. If the other team places all 5 first, you aren't going anywhere with those flags.
Looks like
so we've got Fire Tigers doing 3
flags
4.
already.
We've got 3
there
flags.
Might be a 4th flag on their way. Let's see if you can place that flag. 1,
4, 5, and there we go. Just like that, Fire Tigers beat Unisa as a revenge match. So they seem to have taken Unisa out now. So yeah,
that was quite an impressive match. I think it's a 1 minute 19-second run for the Fire Tigers, taking all 5 flags to the victory and going into the finals.
So in new map, unfamiliar place, they still got the fastest time so far, 1 minute 19 for capture flag match.
It looks like the Fire Tigers are going to face Turmoil.
Yeah, and
the question is, are they ready to face the champion?
Yeah, and twice. They're gonna likely have to do it twice if they can win. So the interesting thing to me is that Fire Tigers beat Unisa, who had beaten them before, and they are facing the people who first took down Unisa. So it's there's a bit of like lore story almost to it, which is cool. Or at least I'm adding that twist to it.
It is going to be interesting to see what happens between those 2 teams.
Yeah, I love the
It's-
hype and support we're getting through from the comments. But first, we're doing our quick little message. So we're doing our quick intermission.
Yeah, there will be a quick video playing from Dr. Denzel Chetty.
Good day. Thank you very much for joining in the live stream of the Unisa Esports Tournament here with Denzel from Unisa. Denzel, I think one of the parts that most people don't know is how long this program has actually been running itself and what the core focus of it was.
Thanks, Juan. I think first let me start by saying that this is really an innovative step for us at Unisa. It's actually a milestone because we're breaking new ground with it. And the idea of this specific program is really for us to rethink the space of how we can use gaming to develop our students for our skills in a very innovative way. I mean, if you look at many of our students, part of the challenge is they are inundated with work. And there are core skills that we want our students to develop. And we actually started this conversation right at the beginning of the year, if you recall.
Yeah.
So it's been going quite a long time to get to where we want to. And I think now today is really the climax, the excitement of today.
Yeah, so everything comes to some form of culmination at the end of the day.
Exactly. And I've been looking at some of the comments, and the students are so excited. I mean, some of the people have actually said, I can't believe Minecraft and Unisa in the same sentence. That was fascinating.
Completely different. And I mean, yesterday we had the trial session with all the teams so that they could get a feel of the competitive side of the program. And I know we actually had 4 of the team members practicing up until 12 o'clock last night
12 o'clock.
together. Yeah, so definitely starting to build that community aspect
Exactly.
that's in there. And I think that would be a big added benefit for Unisa and its students at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
When I engaged with a lot of students, and one of the things was why Minecraft. And what we were thinking about is that every student at Unisa has access to Minecraft, right? So it's not something that you invest money in. You've got access. We provide that access to you. And the reason that we joined forces with you is particularly because we want to develop firstly the students' critical thinking skills. These are core skills that are in every discipline, right? Secondly is that we know our students struggle with problem solving skills. And we can find that evident in Minecraft. How do you solve problems? Online collaboration, exactly what you said. I mean, how often would you get students at 12 o'clock in the night engaging across the country or even internationally in a space? So this is for us an exciting tool for us to really think of the entire Unisa space and reinvent us. And what I like about it, when we started our initial conversation with Diako and the rest of them, was that what is interesting is that it's breaking new ground. And I think this is what our education should be about, is how do we break new ground as an institution, specifically when it comes to technology gaming such as this.
Yeah, and I think tertiary institutions, and this is something that I really respect about Unisa and the drive of this program itself, is the way that the world as a whole is changing, adapting, and innovating continuously on a daily basis. Your tertiary institutions have a responsibility to keep up with that and provide their students with those 4 IR skills so that they are future ready for the careers that they're going to be stepping into in 2-3 years, however long their course or modules are.
Exactly. And I mean, if you look at a lot of our children that are coming out from the schooling system into IHK, it's a very different cohort of students. I mean, now you have students that are digitally fluent, right? And they come into an higher education institution. And if we are not able to deliver that demand and quality of education our students have, then we are not preparing our students for the future. And I tell this to a lot of our colleagues. What's the point of a student graduating from Unisa with a certificate and getting into the job space and they don't have the skills to get a job?
Yep.
So this is part of how we rethink the entire space, rethink the skills. And what I like about the collaboration that we've established, it really prepares our students for what the future lies in. And I think that's pretty cool for us as an institution.
Yeah, and I think that fact actually is prevalent in, the core of the program was the use of Minecraft, but there was a lot of associated tools that came in there. So it's your Microsoft tools that they had to do. There was the Innovation Challenge, which I know we'll be posting and sharing the results out next week for some of those entrepreneurial moves that came out of the program as well. But in there you had your productivity tools that students had to work with. You've got Microsoft Teams, so it's all the applications or application-like platforms that they would be using in their real workplace, and you've enabled them to actually continue with that.
Exactly. If we look at some of those tools, take for example the Teams, right? Many of our students were not exposed to that. but that becomes a critical resource for us, specifically where we are, to start closing the gap with the university and where the students are. And what we found in the afternoon session, which was quite interesting for us, was the amount of participation from our students, the amount of engagement from our students, and also a lot of our students' appreciation for what is happening. And I think what this does for us as an institution is it starts to bring out a sense of recognition of what's available to our students. And I think that has been missing. A lot of our students knew that you have access to these tools, but not how do you use these tools? How can it benefit you? And I think throughout this particular pilot that we had, the proof of concept, it really shows students the power of productivity apps behind.
100%.
I think that's the key thing for us as a unit, as the adult unit, is how do we leverage the digital tools that we have to start thinking outside of the box? And this is where we are as an institution.
And I think for me, one of the last points that I would like to just kind of run over is obviously the introduction to esports now.
Yeah.
And I know that Yaku and Mitchell and myself actually spoke just a couple minutes before this about the fact that there's so many institutions and organizations globally that don't even know that esports is now an official Olympic sport. And being able to put that out as an introduction and giving that option out to students that aren't inclined to any physical or traditionalized sport opens up for a massive community that for a large part would kind of have been forgotten.
Exactly. And building on that point that you just mentioned, I mean, it opens up a whole new space for curriculum development, for career trajectory as well. I mean, exactly what you said. A few years ago, people were thinking of gaming. I mean, typically when you spoke to me before, but I would think of Mario Bros, that kind of stuff, right? But the gaming space has changed. And I was speaking to somebody the other day and asking, what exactly is gaming? How does it benefit us? And I said, your perception of gaming is completely different from where we are now. If we look at how the gaming space has changed, it opens up complete new space, even for curriculum development. And I'm thinking, for example, of career trajectory more especially. Imagine Unisa at some point and offer qualification in these sports games. And that's I think what we need to start thinking of outside of the box. How do we run with the space as an institution? We've now started and we've got students that are excited about it, and we can see from the screening the comments that are posted up. But how do we start preparing students now even for a career trajectory in this space? And I think it opens up a whole new conversation, complexity as well, because now you will not have your normal traditional career path, you're having something that is innovative, outside of the box.
No, 100%. And I think with that, I'm very excited for the pathway that Unisa is going to be leading with us, and it's trailblazing a new trajectory, and very excited for what next year specifically is going to bring about, especially if this was just the first step towards that.
So I must actually also say thank you to you and the team. They have done an exceptional work. I mean, right at the onset, I said when we had this concept on the table, we didn't have any idea of how we'd run forward. I mean, we knew what we wanted, but where we find ourselves now, it's really blown the entire team. Their minds have exploded in the sense that there are new possibilities coming to the table. And I think we must also give you credit. The work that has been done with the challenges, the creativity behind the walls, the level of engagement that you put into this with the students, it's really, really amazing. So from our side as Unisa, we really appreciate all the work that you've done.
Well, thank you very much. And I think my last statement would also be to say, reciprocate the appreciation with the adult team has been phenomenal in the support that it has given to the students. And you can see that it's a group of people that aren't there just to fill a role. There's passion and admiration in what they actually want to do and assist these students in being a better part of what they could be. So with that, I would also like to say a massive thank you. And I know we're going to be heading into the last couple of stages of the tournament now, so very excited to see what that comes.
Yeah, and from my side, just wish the students all the best in this last round. We're really excited. And I'm sure if you get us and see us, you won't see us, but we're cheering on your side. We're really cheering for you.
Thank you very much.
And we're back. Welcome back, Aiden.
Yeah, but thanks to Zuan and our Dr. Dennis Wilchetti there for the message. We are going to be going basically straight into the finals. So
Yeah.
we've got Turmoil.
Versus the Fire Tigers.
Yeah.
I'm quite excited to see who will take this match.
If it is Fire Tigers that takes it, they do have to do another match, as we've said, because Turmoil's hasn't lost yet.
A final? Let's
Yeah.
see what happens.
Final. So yeah, Turmoil does need to lose twice to lose, but win once and they are done. And then the tournament is over. So we are going to game in about 15 seconds for our final game for the day. Our
Well,
final game with Unisa.
Let's
If
see.
yeah,
It might
final
be
game for the
another
day. If not final game for the day, as you said. And yeah, just thanks to Unisa and to everyone for joining us, and we'll see how this last game plays out.
Well, let's take a look at what's going to happen in this final. There's about 5 seconds for these teams to get ready, and then the gates will open. Let's get some cheers in
yeah,
the
we
chat.
need some hype for the teams.
Looks like
Anyone here
the
for the
Fire Tigers are running straight for that first flag in the middle of the map.
Yeah, they're going to need some support of them
Oh.
having to beat Turmoil twice. We've got players chasing each other off the map.
They are collecting one of the flags at the bottom of the map.
Yeah,
Quite
so they're
interesting to
going-
see that.
Yeah, they're going for the slightly less obvious but close flags to see if they can get as many as possible. Got a bunch of people in the middle, no one really doing much at the moment.
Does
Just
look
great.
like there is some PvP action
Oh, we got
where
something there.
Turmoil saw that Fire Tigers are collecting more flags than them.
Yeah,
Let's see if the Fire Tigers
White Tigers are going for a capture on the right side.
won.
We've got one for the Fire Tigers from what we've seen and one at Turmoil. So Fire Tigers actually has 2 captures now and Turmoil's on 1. So far it looks like we could possibly go into a second final.
It does look like they are trying to block each other.
Yeah, so they are trying something.
Fire Tigers take
just
the
captured
win.
5. Oh wow. That was a sudden
was-
swap. We got
I'm curious to see what was the time on that game.
yeah, that was also a very quick game because we had Turmoil doing well there, and then Fire Tigers out of nowhere just came and finished them. So they do have to beat them a second time now.
So yeah, I think we're going into the grand finals. So it's going to be Fire Tigers against Turmoil.
again. So yeah, whether Turmoil is kind of giving them a round just to get an extra round out of it, or if they struggled, Fire Tigers is possibly winning. So if Fire Tigers wins, then we had someone who did lose into the bottom bracket win the tournament.
Well, let's see. These Fire Tigers are on fire right now, and I think they're going to give the Turmoils a run for their money.
Yeah, Turmoil's had that was I believe their first loss the entire tournament. So
It's the first
Turmoil's-
loss for
yeah,
Turmoil. Yeah.
Turmoil had all lives from the get-go, played straight through with no losses until the very final round, and they've had their first loss. So it's a bit of a heartbreaking thing, but they haven't lost yet. They haven't fully lost yet. So this is their final game of the day.
I think the Turmoil is going to try the same strategy in blocking the Fire Tigers from collecting the flags and
Sure.
maybe get a bunch of PvP action on this final game.
Yeah, it seemed to work well. They had PvP, they had a few players distracting each other while the person with the flags carried through, and yeah, Fire Tigers came out of nowhere with that one. They went from 1 to 2 to 5 within a record time with 1:11 seconds, beating our previous 1:19. I
That
believe it was.
is impressive
So
time.
it's only getting faster. The players are getting more and more aggressive, more into their games, and they're definitely learning as they play. So
It did look like that one of the Fire Tigers teammates have been collecting the flags while the other one keeps the opposing
The team
team
occupied.
busy.
yeah.
That's an interesting strategy there.
I think it's something we've only seen once so far, is where you've got one player distracting while one collects, or one collecting and the rest doing other things. So it's obviously works splitting up your team into different things. So they're obviously playing to their strengths. They've got someone who's good with the parkour and the speed running, collecting the flags,
Yes.
and we've got someone fighting.
Well, let's see if the Fire Tigers are going to use the same strategy in this game. I believe that the players are getting ready
Yeah.
for the quarter-final. Is it the quarter?
No,
No,
it's
semi-finals.
the final finals,
The
the double
finals.
finals. So yeah, we're seeing. It must be nerve-wracking. Next game wins. Turmoil had their little safe point. They just lost it. So this is it for them. The next game wins the tournament.
I'm anxious to see who's going to
Yeah,
take it.
it's quite nerve-wracking after the past 2 days. So
If I'm already stressing out on who's going to win, I don't even know what the players are feeling right now.
yeah,
I think there's a
yeah,
bunch of emotions just all over the place.
yeah. It's quite intense.
Let's
Let's
get
get
into
to
the
that
game.
final.
The game will be starting in about 5 seconds. The gates will open. And we're off. Let's see what happens. It does look like a 2v2 if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Both teams
2v2.
going into the center, trying to grab that middle flag, and there's a bunch of PvP action going on. One of the players did get hit off from the Fire Tigers.
And we got Turmoil grabbing that center flag. So yeah, we've got one player per team going to the center for the center flag, while the other two go out to get as many of the flags as they can elsewhere.
It does look like Turmoil is going to start stacking up the flags, trying to prevent the Fire Tigers from getting to it.
We do have Fire Tigers planting some flags. We don't know yet if it's 5. So
Yes.
far it's just the 2 places, and they're going
2
back from there.
flags. It looks like Turmoil is doing a bit of parkour.
Turmoil
It's
is
about 4 flags that they've collected so far. Let's see if they can place all 4. 1, 2,
3,
4,
4,
5
5
flags. It
Was
looks
that
like
a 5th? Turmoil wins,
Turmoil.
yeah. Close game, but the Tigers were definitely putting a fight there. They got Turmoil's last lifetime, but Turmoil showed why they were at the beginning straight, and then
What?
setting the best time exactly a minute on the dot.
That is insane.
So-
a massive shout out to Turmoil for that was a intense run.
Yeah, Turmoil showed why they were at the top from the beginning. Fire Tigers nearly took them down from that spot there, but
It's-
they kept their crown in the end.
Yeah, it's true what they said that there's always time for a win and a lose.
Yeah.
And I think that Turmoil has given the Fire Tigers the opportunity to take a win, but they had to come back with the victory.
Yeah, it was. The last few rounds were interesting with the whole Unis and the Fire Tigers and all of their like competitors. They had their little nemesis during the tournament, and they all fought in the end. And then Unis's nemesis, which was Turmoil for the moment, ended up having to fight the people that did beat Unis as well, being the Fire Tigers, and the Fire Tigers did well. They were close. They did very well actually. They were
Very
even
close.
2 points up at a point, and yeah, Turmoil did end up bringing 5 flags to the home.
Well, I really, really appreciate this opportunity to be hosting a tournament with Unisa, with your students, which are absolutely amazing. We do want to give a special thanks for this opportunity and for all the staff
Yeah,
at Unisa, and
Dr.
especially
Chetty,
that
everyone.
special message and video from Dr. Chetty.
Yeah, we even the fans in the chat. We had 2 fans especially who were very talkative about the race, so they did very well. We hope to see you guys in person one day, see how well you guys cheer people on there.
Well, we might see them at Rage.
Yeah,
Let's see.
it depends on that robotics competition. It was a good tournament otherwise. It was
Definitely.
very intense. Like I said, it's casual start with a huge build up to it.
Yeah.
Like as anything should be.
Well, once
So-
again, a massive shout out to all the fans, all the viewers watching. We will be back one day with another tournament, another stream. Hit that like, follow, and hit that
Subscribe.
small bell there to get a bit of more notifications on when we're going live and what we're doing.
Well done again to Turmoil for winning. Turmoil played very well throughout, and they kept their lead.
Definitely.
From beginning to end, they kept where they wanted to be. They
Well,
showed good
I
position.
think this is us. Thanks for everybody joining us, but thanks for the students, the staff, and we definitely hope to see you again. Stay tuned.